puck will go in. Fires and scores. It's a ball from Cooper. The two most exciting words in all of sports. Game 7, and we have it right here. Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV, Cable 14, and worldwide on FloHockey and YouTube. It's Reed Duffy alongside Norm Miller with Laura Kitchen and Troy Islikar downstairs. And Norm, it is as big as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Barrie Colts earned their right here to Game 7 with back-to-back 4-3 overtime wins. Game 5 here in Brantford and Game 6 in Barrie.
Downstairs for Soraya Orr and the singing of our national anthem.
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. On guard for thee.
Soraya Orr, everybody.
Soraya Orr, there is nobody better as we get set for puck drop here in Game 7. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders, brought to you by our friends at Elite Excavations. Put down the shovels. We want to dig for you. Norm, take it away.
Yeah, two of the best in the playoffs so far, and Ben Horebic and Ryerson Leanders. Horebic out of Milton, Ontario. You're going to see his numbers there on the screen in a moment for the playoffs, but in this series so far, a .914 save percentage, a 54 save performance in Game 6 to backstop the Colts to that 4-3 overtime win. And at the other end, Nanticoke, Ontario's own Ryerson Leanders. Leanders thus far in this series, a .901 save percentage and a 2.68 goals against average, and one of the top goals against averages in the OHL during the playoffs.
And down at ice level, they are introducing a cast to bang the drum tonight. Jake Murray, furthest on your left, 2018 OHL champion. George Diaco, Nathan Steos, Noah Nelson, and now Ryan Winterton of the Seattle Kraken. And Nick Lardis. Wow, Norm, what a crew they've got of the alumni downstairs.
Yeah, you can almost wish you could shoot some of those guys up tonight. Lardis is still eligible.
Oh, wait a minute. The Colt icon is back. Daniel Chen returns to the Madhouse.
Daniel Chen, popular player in his series here in Brantford, season in Brantford.
And they're chanting for him again. They are having fun down at ice level tonight. Damian Figuera and Jason Feist are your officials. Dan Kovacic and Luke Pye the lines. The Bulldogs in the home blacks, trimmed with the white and gold. The Colts in the road whites, trimmed with the yellow, red, and blue. Puck is down with the Bulldogs going right to left across your speakers. As Aitchison will feed on to Wilmot. Hemming tossing it in to the Brantford zone. It's like a family reunion downstairs. Jake O'Brien on to Jet Luchenko. Now from Eric Van Acker. O'Brien will twirl back, feeding along the wall. Puck gets picked loose. Danford to Sandu on the D-to-D. Van Acker forward. Off the left side. His pass came off of his stick. Prot's changing on. Will flatten it out back through the neutral zone.
Expect a good energetic pace early on in this game. A lot of emotion to get started here. He's going to be managing those emotions a little bit as well.
Gabriel Frasca for Luca Testa. His turning drive held off by Hrebeck. Frasca deals it out top. Protz fires off the end wall. Jedicek's there. Banach trying to locate it. Nice play by Crombie to sweep that loose. Hanser, the next touch around back of his own goal.
You see Jedicek jumping into the play early.
Parker von Richter off the wall into the Brantford zone. Protz frees up the puck. There's Testa. Testa with a peek forward. Rolls it in. Bulldogs quick changes. Banach trying to find the puck as he and von Richter come together behind the net. And it'll be flashed high down the rink for icing. Minute 27 into the first period. Troy, what's the feeling like downstairs?
These fans are hungry. Not since 1980, when they were the Brantford Alexanders, has a team in Brantford played in a final, OHL final. Back then it was Ontario Major Junior Hockey League, but 46 years they've been waiting to get into a final, so this place is going to go crazy tonight. The Bulldogs can pull that off.
Troy going through the history books feverishly for us.
I think he actually has like a giant book that he's flipping through at home, because that would be pretty awesome.
I think
leather bound with some tassels.
I think I've seen that encyclopedia in his man cave before. As Caleb Maholter will run the puck forward, and it'll be down the rink for icing.
The scratches on the Barrie side. We saw Teague Vader take warm-up, but I do not see number 4 on the bench. It is May the 4th, so appropriate that Vader got to take the warm-up. Hagen Bach, Ethan Armstrong, Cole Baudouin, and Luke Gavreau, and then Bulldog side, all the same lineup. Jeremy Freeman, Ryan Chamberlain, Nick Rossetto, Phil Govedaris, David Buckman, and Cam Heinkai. The Bulldogs have had the same lineup for all 7 games in this series.
Perhaps Dylan Smoskowitz, like us, a Star Wars fan, and was playing that game. Teague Vader wears 4. It's May the 4th. Gabriel Eliasson shot comes around the back of the net. All 6 of his regular defensemen are on the ice. As Maholter deals it forward for Cooper Dennis. That's trying to wander wide, and there's the telephone pole of Eliasson. Schneid rolling it along the boards. Maholter will step forward. Eliasson takes it. Maholter into him. Caleb Maholter does not play the game with fear. Puck back to the blue line, and that one just barely.
Definitely, that one definitely came out.
Yep.
The guys in striped shirts definitely a focus of conversation from Game 6. Bulldogs with what they thought was a series-winning goal in overtime that was reviewed and disallowed. A couple others that they thought might have been in as well, but from a Bulldogs fan perspective, you just hope that those even out over the course of a 7-game series. Though it is a fairly small sample size.
Dylan Cisterna will slide the puck on back for Adam Jedicek. For Ryder Bolton, who had a tremendous tip-in goal in Game 6.
Up a long shot. It looked like it was going wide until Bolton got a hold of it.
And he just managed to tuck it on the tip under the bar, too. Rocks forward as Bolton gets into Desiderio.
And his fourth line's been good for the Bulldogs when they get the opportunities.
Jedicek will scattered around back of the net. Dylan Cisterna peeks back to the blue line. Left point is Protz. He'll move and lay it on to Cisterna. Cisterna low to Jedicek, who snuck down on the left side. Get a check fanned on his pass across. Bouncing puck. Holmes fishes it low. Luchenko around the wall, and he'll take it safely back into neutral ice as the Bulldogs begin a change.
Not an easy task to sit on the bench for extended periods of time, then get out there and put the energy into a shift, and that's what's asked of a lot of fourth lines in hockey.
Yeah, being a fourth line player can be a really tough job. As Jake O'Brien zips it around the back, Van Acker tosses below. Luchenko just stands up Aitchison, but the puck rolls on now for Zabeski. To Hemming ahead, working at Sandu. Sandu fished him, and Danford guided him aside. Sandu's stick is lost. Puck out top, Hemming. Chips it along the line. Sandu fronted Hemming. Luchenko bats the puck down, and the Bulldogs have the exit. Luchenko forward. Curls it to left circle. Feeds back to Danford off the right point. He'll leave it to Van Acker, right circle. Firing and blocked off by Passmore's body. Van Acker again. Passmore gets in front of it. Danford brings it down. Shuttled it front. Zabeski back. He's troubled by O'Brien. Zabeski will horse it out of the zone and toss it down to the right wing corner.
Troy, you're talking about the excitement of this crowd. I had to turn the noise notifications off of my watch because otherwise I think it'd be going off all night.
Yeah, it's loud down here. I've got the earphones on, and I'm going to have to crank it up too as well.
It reached well over 110 decibels in Game 5 in this building. Adam Banach swinging on to Testa out front for Frasca, just off his stick. Yedicek walks down. He'll feed it out to the circle, taken by Crombie. Crombie moving his way forward. Bounces it around the back of the net. Leanders will continue it there. Emerton holds it at the right point into the pile. Handled away by Leanders.
You get these old barns with the low roof. That noise just stays right in.
Puck flashed forward, Testa after it. Emerton, first man back on the icing with 15:09 to be played in the first period.
I remember years going out to school in Sudbury, going to a Wolves Owen Sound playoff game. The Wolves scored the winning goal at least twice, maybe 3 times in overtime, but nobody could hear the whistle, so to go back and reset. So imagine that. Series winning goal, place is going nuts. Nope, no goal. Whistle had blown. And that was a loud arena that night. Out of that, they didn't have very good whistles.
The Sudbury Community Arena can get loud.
Owen Sound went on to win that game, of course, because that's the way that goes.
Of course. Jaden Newton towards the slot. Newton, who's been excellent the last 2 games. Has stepped in after Cole Baudouin went down, and he's got 3 goals in the last pair. Carter Lowe. Back on to Aitchison high. Stripped of him. Numbers forward. Paquette's got Dennis. Paquette off the left. Pulls. Backhand. Off the outside of the goal. Maholtra across. Dravetsky steps down. Dravetsky to the slot for Maholtra. Springs off his leg. Sandu left point. Time and space for the tip. Save. Rebound. Paquette. Save again by Hrebeck. Puck won't get out. Dennis waits. Drops it on to Dravetsky. Dravetsky high to Sandu. Sandu into the pile. Hrebeck has it somewhere in the pillows, and he'll hang on with 14:22.
Troy, you're probably getting a good look at this ice level, but we're seeing already the Bulldogs doing a much better job when they get offensive zone possession, just fronting up in front of Ben Hrebeck.
Yeah, and they're passing to layers. They're not, as soon as they get the puck, they don't just release it because there's bodies in front. They just get tipped or blocked. They're looking for the open man and dishing off to them, and that's exactly what's happening, and they're getting great shots, great looks on Hrebeck. He's just been a machine in this series and continues on tonight.
Desherna leaning in against Damon Edgar.
Like to see that play with Paquette just a moment ago, too, in our first replay, where he's got the numbers, but he drives to the net and takes the opportunity that's in front of him. And that whole play gets generated off an ill-advised pinch by Kayshawn Aitchison that Bulldogs take advantage of.
Parker Holmes leaning in against Edgar. Puck will pop to the wall. And it's tossed up and out of the Barrie zone. Engel, first man back, feeding on to Holmes. Holmes pulls up, pass to Flex. On the bounce, Desherna brings it down. Desherna couldn't make the connection to Holmes. Danford on his backhand for Parker Holmes. Sends it up the wall. Desherna will play it forward with Ryder Bolton, and Dylan Desherna looked like he had gotten around. Gabriel Eliasson will hit the break. 13:57 left to play in the first period. No score on the board. You're watching Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor & Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We welcome you back inside TD Civic Center, looking over one shoulder of Arvin Jaswal. That's his left shoulder, and the right shoulder, Parker Von Richter. What a look from our handheld downstairs.
Yeah, it's going to be an offensive zone draw here after the icing that Bulldog fans and Gillett Tashurna were advocating that he was going to get there in time to negate it, and the Colts get their top line out here against them.
Yeah, Tashurna had a fever pitch conversation with Pye at his bench.
Save made by Leanders on the first attempt from Aitchison. Got a second whack at it. Stopped it again. Danford will collect. Lobs it to the line. And on the bounce, it's going to run down. Ryder Bolton trying to get to the puck. And he ended up forced through the crease by Evan Passmore.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. One I've never understood by any defenseman who pushes an opposition player into their own goaltender.
And Bolton is explaining that to the official now. And you're right, I had the perfect angle on it here, and he was nudged in to Horebeck, and I just never understand that.
Yeah, watch 88, he just gives a little... Now, Bolton's taking her out, some would say. But...
Yeah,
he probably gets through that crack in the door. Sorry, Troy.
No, exactly what I was going to say. It's the route he took, and he wouldn't have had any contact with Horebeck if he wouldn't have got the nudge.
Puck played back to the line. H's one-timer, sliding save by Parker Holmes.
Bulldogs get that fourth line changed.
Looked a little Ken Dryden-esque on that one as he came sliding across.
He might have played a little road hockey in South Mountain.
Dylan Tashurna forward, Luchenko working the middle. Passmore fishes the puck away. Van Acker's the next man, steps down the right wall. Van Acker to the goal line, tried it across the front, just rolled off his stick.
More of that from Van Acker.
Aitchison takes Luchenko down to the wall. Puck played along, Sandu stepping into Hemming, and Danford will be back to collect.
That is best when he attacks the edge with that speed that he has, Merrick Van Acker.
Van Danford sliding his way through, left wing side, Van Acker. Danford just out of his reach. Danford along the right wall, flashing it around the back. That'll allow Sandu to activate. Sandu takes on the contact of Zabeski down the boards. Aitchison tossing it back towards the line. That'll get up and out, and Danford again retreats for it.
About what we'd expect from the first 7 or 8 minutes here of this hockey game.
Bit of back and forth.
Yep, good energy at both sides. Nerves are starting to be worked out a little bit. Everyone's had a couple of shifts.
Puck tossed into the air. Testa trying to locate it. It'll be dropped down to the Bulldog zone once again, and ooh, that's an icing.
Well, throughout this series, we're here in Game 7, and Reed and Troy, this is about as close to one as you see. 3 one-goal games, 2 going to overtime, 2 two-goal games, just the one game that was a 5-goal win for the Brantford Bulldogs. But other than that, 5 of the 6 games, 2 goals or less, 2 of them in overtime.
Not something we've seen anywhere else in this OHL playoff either.
First series to go 7 games thus far in this postseason. We're perilously close to going without the 7-game series through the conference finals.
Puck down the ice for a back-to-back icing. 12-14 to play in the opening frame.
And Kitchener-Holman Cool, they'll be the team that will play the winner of this game in the final, and they're just happy to watch and extend this, and probably hoping for overtime tonight.
Yeah, they'll be either popping the popcorn, getting ready to host Game 1, or hopping on the bus to come down here.
The only thing for Kitchener is for UC Hocus and company, you got to do twice as much prep.
There you go.
How big do you figure those binders are?
And Barrie continues with the edge in faceoffs. So early in this game, over the course of this series, they've won 36.7 draws per game to the Bulldogs 30.7. So 37-31 if you want to round it up, but they are at 8-1 so far in this game.
And that's a drastic improvement on considering how this series started in the faceoff department.
Especially game 2.
Yeah, 43-19 for the Colts in that game, in the face-off data game they went on to win.
Gardner against Frasca. Face-off violation warning.
I cannot believe how loud it is in here.
Testa gets the puck back to Protz off the point. Fanned on his shot, but Pinnock was there, floats it in. Deflected wide of the net. Testa through the corner. Frasca hits the brakes in front of Gardner. He'll carry high. Feeding off with Protz. Back to Frasca. Below the goal line. Testa and Hanser stack in. Von Richter up the wall. Won't come out. Frasca, a little head fake. Now pulls. Wanted to fire. Deflected around the back. Yedacek saves it at the right point. Wanted Frasca low. It's around the back. Testa. Skate to stick for Frasca. Having a look to the front. Keeps on going to the right side. Hits the brakes in front of Von Richter. Puck taken back along by Testa as Frasca got tackled down. Puck to the blue line. Yedacek steps away from one. Yedacek holds at the right point. Draws one. Pinnock became available. Puck was a little too heavy for him to handle. To the blue line, off Yedacek's stick and out.
Well, it's not quite going to be Marquise of Queensberry rules, Reed, but it may be close. Game 7.
11:08 left to play in the first period. The Bulldogs ice at that time as they tried for the sneak away up ahead.
Bulldogs have scored the first goal in every game of this series thus far, and here you see some good work by the Bulldogs down low, and this was one that draws the fans' attention. Parker Van Richter with a takedown of Gabriel Frasca. Saw just 4 power plays in Game 6. Both teams went 0 for 2.
Damian Figueroa had to come to the Bulldogs bench and literally drag Frasca and Testa out back on the ice in this faceoff.
Newton against Frasca. Puck drawn back. Pinnock tried to get in for the winger win.
Protz's stick was snapped.
He'll have it at the Bulldogs bench. High lob up and out, right onto Adam Pinnock. Pinnock curling over the line, pulls up high on the right. Had to take it back out to neutral ice.
Looked like he might have been okay there, but decided to regroup.
I don't think he was 100% confident and decided to keep the play moving as opposed to take the offside. Trevetsky from around back of his own goal to Malhotra. Schneid caught a rut as Malhotra starts his way ahead. Dennis off the right, tried it back out front. Wouldn't connect. And Emerton will start up and out. Emerton for Lowe, the big fella fires. Glove save by Leenders. He'll hang on with 10:23 to play in the first period.
Bulldogs got numbers, got caught down low a little bit. Malhotra had a bit of a struggle getting back, but Paquette filled on the back check. And Leenders are able to stop that all the way.
Bulldogs have kept a pretty good pace on the line changes outside of the icings, as Wilmot and O'Brien are going to lean in. Wilmot rolls it out high. Jet Luchenko sprints to the puck, trying to get around Passmore. Luchenko to the net. Puck is pushed on wide. And Luchenko's stick snapped. Jake O'Brien after it on the right. Spins off of Aitchison. Puck rolls low. Zabeski on top of it. Sandu run into with Hemming and all the way down the rink for an icing. With 9:58 left to play.
Luchenko having a conversation with Jason Feist. Looked like he had a step on Evan Passmore. And Passmore just got a little bit of contact on Luchenko at the end. He was kind of running out of real estate at the end of that one, but I know Bulldog fans have a different opinion than maybe I do of that play.
Yeah, the speed there of Jet Luchenko, that's National Hockey League speed there.
You can see why he's first round pick of the Flyers for a reason.
He lives up to the name, that's for sure. Puck held in by Sandu, tried to clatter it down the wall. Malhotra's stick broke. Hemming forward. He'll wait on for Zabeski on the backhand, saved by Leenders. Zabeski going right to the front of the Brantford net, and that will draw a crowd.
Yeah, tough save there by Leenders because the backhand from Zabeski. You'd never know where the puck's going on the backhand. Leenders squared up and makes the stop. Face off to his left.
Zaleski, the overtime hero in Game 6 with the game-winning goal. They're two of the Colts overagers, Brad Gardner and Mason Zaleski, with overtime winning goals in Game 5 and 6, and that's what you look for from those players at this time of year.
Yeah, what a way to finish your career in the OHL. Big time goals and big games.
Well, guys, we said it right from the time the Colts picked Gardner up a couple of years ago that was a really astute play by Marty Williamson. We saw Gardner a lot with the Ottawa 67s, and he has certainly not disappointed in Barrie. Eamon Edgar back to the blue line. Eliasson fires, save Leenders. Bouncing puck on the rebound. Leenders jamming pad to post. And where'd the puck end up? Battle out front of the Brantford net. The puck is on.
Yeah, just
right on the side of the net.
Yeah, just to the right of Ryerson Leenders outside the crease.
There's about 6 bodies right in front of Ryerson Leenders' goal.
Yeah, you just talked about Brad Gardner a moment ago. Reed, 65 points in 67 games for him this year during the regular season. Let's take a look at this stop here by Leenders, and it's a full court press here by the Colts to try to jam this puck in. He never really gets control of it. I think the referee blew it because he lost sight.
That's what it appeared like. It looked like one of the Bulldogs was able to tip that puck away from Leenders' leg, which is why it ended up on the left side of the net.
Yeah, that was a classic fourth line mess in front of the net, and the puck just sat there. Nobody cared about it.
Let's just square up and battle here for a bit, Troy?
Brad Gardner is going to be waved out of the circle. Calvin Crombie will step in. Gabriel Frasca leaning in. Puck back to Von Richter off the draw, fronted by Testa. He'll play it around the back of the net. Gardner pursued by Jedicek. Back through the left wing corner, Crombie. Around the back, Salandra. Now for Von Richter, who ended up in a little bit of free space. Puck poked loose. Testa tried to twist it out to the line. Von Richter, backside. Skips away there from Gardner. Crombie below the goal line for Salandra, all the way back. Von Richter read that well to get to the middle of the line. Von Richter again catches out high. Save made by Leenders. Puck pushed back towards the goal. Frasca's over top of it. It'll be rolled to the blue line once again. Von Richter blocked down by Jedicek. It's in his equipment. Jedicek trying to turn. Crombie will take. Puck forced around the back of the net.
Yeah, Jedicek was trying to clear, but Salandra just did a good stick lift there to prevent him from getting that puck out.
Testa left his feet to try to keep it alive. Newton's drive, saved by Leenders. He'll hang on the best shift for the Colts of the game.
Well, Jaden Newton, who's been a force since stepping in for Cole Baudouin in these last 2 games, 3 goals in his last 2 games, 2 in Game 6. His only 3 goals of the playoffs, and truly proving, living up to the axiom in the playoffs of next man up.
Yeah, he tried to go 5-hole there, and it caught Leenders right in the middle, and he wasn't sure where that puck was if he had it. He actually looked behind, looked in the net to see if that may have dribbled by, but he had it, and face off now to his right.
Colts on a good run here, out-shooting the Bulldogs 5-0 over this last little stretch of play, and their dominance in the face-off circle is keeping these offensive sets alive.
Face-off to the right of Ryerson Leenders. Puck will come around the back. Zach Sandu on to Cooper Dennis. Dennis wanted to lay that forward. It gets into the air. Paquette now for Sandu. Sandu drives wide on the right side. He'll pull up, feeding on to Trevetsky. Puck got poked up and out. Carter Lowe chasing after it. Leenders with a poke. It bounced off the body of Lowe and wide of the net. Caleb Maholtra slides back onto the puck.
There was almost a Patrick O'Sullivan, Marc-Andre Fleury moment there.
Oh boy. Take us way back on that one.
That was quite the World Juniors pull there, I got to say.
Maholtra around the back of the net. Hands off to Cooper Dennis. Dennis and Engel walking on. Save made by Hrebeck.
First shot for the Bulldogs in about 4 or 5 minutes of play.
Charlie Paquette trying to dig the puck loose. Runs it back to the blue line. Engel for Trevetsky. Feeding over to O'Brien. Missed it wide. Engel to the top. Trevetsky again. Sliding over to Dennis, who came out high. Dennis waits. His shot off of a leg. Engel trying to recover low. Feeds it on towards O'Brien. O'Brien trying to work away from Emerton. Gets it back to the top. Trevetsky hammers it. Glove save made by Ben Horebic. He'll hang on.
Screen arrived just a little late there. What a great cross-ice diagonal pass by O'Brien to find Trevetsky. But Troy, it looked like the Bulldogs just a step or two late getting that screen set up to block Horebic's view.
Yeah, he had the clear shot, and there's nobody in front, so he took it. Unfortunately, because of that, Horebic was able to see it and made the stop.
You can see the Bulldogs, when they get possession in the offensive zone, they have had success sustaining it, but just so difficult when they get it back in their own defensive zone and keep losing those draws.
Jake O'Brien pulling it back to the line. Ben Danford holds it on. Down low to Marek Van Acker. Van Acker to the top for Luchenko. His shot blocked. Rebound chance. Spills out to the right circle. O'Brien will find it to the blue line as Danford. Danford to the left. Yedacek had it explode off his stick and out.
Yeah, just kind of caught him in a spot there where he couldn't control it. Now we have Passmore and Van Acker behind the play. Aitchison gets a slash in. It's 3 shots for $1 here, apparently.
Well, in years where there isn't construction outside, there is a carnival in the parking lot in summer. Luchenko, left wing, turns it, tries it out front. That'll roll wide of the net. Passmore jams it around the back. He lost his helmet. He'll have to go to the Barrie bench as the puck fed all the way down, and Sandu back on top.
Well, a message from both coaches I think will be clear to their teams. Do not take the bait from Dylan Smoskowitz and Jay McKee. You never know that penalty that's going to be the one that's going to turn a game around.
Zach Sandu runs it into the offensive zone. Horebic spills it out wide, taken on by Parker Von Richter. To Crombie, now Gardner, back over to Crombie, right wing side. Across the ice for Salandra, wouldn't sit. Answer from the blue line. Changes his angle, blocked by Frasca. Salandra low, runs it to the blue. Hanser for Crombie, wanted Gardner. Explodes off his skate, now Salandra walks on, missed it wide. Puck will come all the way around to neutral ice.
Well, Salandra just found that little pocket of space in the Bulldogs' defensive zone coverage and had a really good look. Passmore's helmet's still on the ice, so until there's a whistle, he cannot join in the play. Unless one of his teammates goes and retrieves his bucket for him.
I think they just did. Somebody was able to go and get it.
What's still behind the net?
Oh.
Maybe they had a spare. Must have.
Charlie Paquette forward.
You would think you'd have a spare on the bench.
Well, now they'd be able to go get it anyway on the offside. 5:13 left to play in the opening frame. No score on the board. You're watching Game 7 of the Eastern Finals on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Our first appearance, as always, brought to you by our friends at Gerdau Metals Recycling.
And we have gone back and forth. Shots now 8-6 in favor of the Colts. Bulldogs with a good little run of sustained offensive zone pressure after that, just prior to the media timeout here. Bulldogs had that fourth line coming out, but as soon as they saw Lowe and Schneid and Newton out there, they changed their mind. Which is the home coach, you can do, get that last change in.
That's why you battle all season for home ice advantage. Danford on to Dennis. And Dennis trying to swing that into the offensive zone. Believe he caught the curved glass at the Colts bench.
Troy, just kind of interested in your vantage point down in between the benches, what you're hearing down there. Is it a chatty group, or is it a little bit of all business out there, or a mix?
Yeah, I think it's all business. I mean, other than, Tashurna and Bolton having conversations with their fourth line opposition, which is always entertaining. Yeah, it's all business. It's the tension here is definitely palpable, and not only in the stands, but you got to think they're teenagers. It's got to be mentally straining on these guys.
Puck playing around the back. Zach Sandu will locate it first to Van Ackern onto Luchenko. Luchenko springs his way forward, cuts high slot for a drive. Save Hrebic, he'll hang on.
Well, you and I were chatting on the way out here on the car drive, and how many of these guys have even played in a Game 7? It'd be an interesting research project if we had a research team, but we don't. It's 3 of us and Laura. So this is what you got, folks. But yeah, I mean, you just think about it on both sides. How many of these players have played in the Game 7 over the years? It's probably a fairly small number.
Yeah, and with the stakes being so high, an Eastern Conference Final, maybe 7 games in a first round series, but yeah, this is about as big as it gets.
Eric Van Acker pulls to the slot, playing it back out top. Ben Danford. Danford waits, fires, hit the end wall, caught something on the way through. You could hear it tick off of what I believe was a stick.
And then Danford throws a bit of a hit there just to allow the Bulldogs to recapture that puck. If you're not winning draws, you got to find other ways to get that puck back, and Bulldogs are successful there. Colts completing a change.
Bulldogs have been good at puck recovery as Jet Luchenko will find it forward. Luchenko over to O'Brien, down the wall. Luchenko spins it to Van Acker in the slot. Glove save made by Hrebic. That was a beauty.
Yeah, just a real bang-bang play. Nice little 3-way passing play from O'Brien to Luchenko, who finds Van Acker cruising into the slot, but Hrebic had time to get himself set and gloves that one easily. Really good zone entry here. O'Brien, Luchenko with the carry, and just a nice quick pass. Crombie comes across and gets the stick. And that's all you want there a little bit. It's just that Calvin Crombie, just that step forward enough to make Van Acker take his options down to a shot.
Yeah, Van Acker knows where to go to those dangerous positions. 47 goals on the regular season, led the OHL in goals. So not a guy that's unaware of where he needs to be.
Protz fanned on his D-to-D pass along the line. Gardner the other way. Crombie pulls, deflected by Protz.
You wanted just a little bit of excitement there, perhaps, and a little bit of nerves.
Protz trying to sweep the puck forward. He and Von Richter bounce off of one another. Testa curls back into his own zone.
Like me on the golf course, you take the head up, just take a little peek to see where that shot went or didn't go.
And then suddenly you're in the bunker.
Yeah, or you get the "you're still away."
Yeah. Well, I hate that.
The worst words to hear when playing golf.
I get that fairly frequently. Of course, I play with my brother and with Cookie downstairs, and they're bombing the ball, and I could play just as well with a log. Adam Yudacek will lay it forward. I'm out there because I have fun, guys.
Well, I lied about us not having a crack research team. Jack Moore, the fine radio voice of the Oshawa Generals, just letting us know that Barrie beat Kingston in 7 last year in the 2025 to get to the Eastern Final against Oshawa. I should have known that someone like Jack would have that information. Thanks, Jack.
Jack is like a pseudo 4th member of our team when, he's not being an incredible radio voice for the Oshawa Generals.
See, folks, you're never truly alone.
But he's got the best job. He's at home, sitting there, eating popcorn, sitting on the couch,
beverage of his choice,
sending us stats.
That guy, when it comes to football Sundays, that guy's got the spread going.
The multi-view, the Rogers multi-view.
Oh, yeah.
We tried that out last night. It was exceptional.
If you text Jack about a play that happens in any given game on a Sunday, he'll know exactly what it is.
Had the Raptors game and Canadiens Tampa going at the same time.
That works. My mom very excited about the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, 9 shots. Both these teams are almost at 9 shots already. It's 9-8 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Van Acker to the front, winged it across, no tip on the end.
How do you win a game with 9 shots? Well, I guess we found out.
Jakob Dobish, that's how you puck down the right wing wall. Ben Danford tried to shuttle that through, and then in the other game, Colorado to score 9 goals to win.
Right. Yeah, 9-6. That was a little past the bedtime last night.
That game was wild. Sandu shuttles it into the left wing corner. O'Brien over top of it. Flicks it back to the blue. Sandu waits, carries it along, Danford, right point to the slot. Luchenko tip. Rolling puck taken away by Zabeski.
Again, Colts just with numbers down there to snuff that opportunity.
Aitchison jumping up into the play. Nice play by Danford to force the puck wide of the net. Zabeski onto it. He'll swing it around for Aitchison. Back to the blue line as Van Acker dumped Aitchison. It's along to Salandra, a little cut in. Salandra keeps on moving. Backdoor has Gardner. Gardner out waiting one, save Leenders, and the puck is underneath him. 1:40 left in the first period.
Aitchison takes the big hit by Van Acker, but then peels off and gets himself down low in the back door and had that puck got through. He was in a prime position to score. It's a tough player. Takes the hit. Here you see the hit by Van Acker. Those two have been going at it all series. There you see Aitchison on the backside. Some good coverage there by Van Acker and Danford, so they may have snuffed that pass out.
That hit from Van Acker may have been a receipt for one that he received in Game 5.
Or any of the other 6 games.
Yeah, it looked very similar to the one in behind the Barrie net in Game 5.
Yeah, that Van Acker came out and eventually scored on that play. Van Acker, 2 goals in the series, both on the power play so far. And the Colts have done a pretty good job of shutting down the league's top goal scorer during the regular season.
Crombie slides his way loose. Salandra almost blew a groin, but stayed on side. Von Richter, right point. Backside, Gardner had to roll off his stick. Aitchison scores! It may have hit a stick on the way through, and for the first time in the series, the Colts strike first.
And a big goal coming for them with 1:21 left in this first period. The all-important late goal, and again, it comes off a face-off win. The Colts able to count one here. 1:21 to go in the first. Get a look here on our replay. Keep this play alive. And Aitchison's just going to come in the backside of this puck, rolling, and hit something on the way through, I think, by the reaction of Leenders.
Yeah, it looked like it did, but that puck just rose real quickly up into that top corner glove side on Leenders. But what a shot by Aitchison.
Aitchison 9 points in 7 games so far in this series.
He's a game changer.
Yeah, defensemen like him and Adam Yuracek, unicorns.
Yep. Eliasson down over top of the puck. Maholtra trying to find it first. Taken along by Newton. Swept into his skates. Schneid there to help out. Paquette forces him to the wall, and the puck will get just out past the blue line. Danford had to back up. Danford dropping it back to Trevetsky. Trevetsky in direct forward for Paquette. Into the skates of Dennis, and it's Schneid going the other way. Puck tossed down around the back of the Brantford goal. Trevetsky up ahead. Maholtra 2-on-2 now. Dennis and Paquette. Paquette off the left, fires. Puck is dead at Harebic's pad, and Paquette tried to roll that over the goal line. Ben Harebic just keeping that pad along the ice. Won't let it through.
Von Richter and Gardner with the assists on the Aitchison goal that comes with 1:21 left. And yeah, there for a second it looked like Ben Harebic was not 100% sure where that puck was, but he knew, like any good goaltender, don't move.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Aitchison with his 13th career playoff goal, and this being his 41st career playoff game, and gets the Barrie Colts out in front 1-0.
He's been immense, playing 30-plus minutes in regulation. Who knows how many minutes he played in Game 5 and Game 6. It went to overtime. Well, somebody knows, but not. We don't have those stats from the OHL.
He did not come off the ice much. Get a check from the middle of the line. Backside, Van Acker's one-timer held on to by Harebic.
If Josh Sweetland's listening, that would be a nice one to get next year. Time on ice.
I think he's right down the hall.
All right, we could just go ask him.
Just go muscle him a little bit.
We don't need it real time. Even just, end of the period would be nice.
Some type of broadcaster's portal that we can log into.
Right.
I feel like we should start a business.
27.3 seconds left. Bulldogs offensive zone draw. Again, face-offs now up to 13-13, so the Bulldogs evening it up. 14-13.
Van Acker spins on the right side. A look back to the blue line. Has Danford. Back to Van Acker. Into the pile. Toe save made by Harebic. The puck just rolled away from any Bulldog.
Gets just enough of it.
Van Acker tried to slide that along. Zabeski steals. Save made by Leenders. Puck poked around the back. Wilmot after it. Tosses it front. That'll get all the way through. 4 seconds left in the frame. O'Brien tosses it forward. And there'll be some nervous moments as the Bulldogs skate down the tunnel, Norm, through 20 minutes, trailing by 1 on home ice here in Game 7.
And first one over to tap Ryerson Leenders on the pad is Merrick Van Acker, who set Mason Zabeski in on his own goalie. But yeah, we had very tightly played first period. And Barrie counts late with the goal by Kayshawn Aitchison with 81 seconds left in the first period and 40 minutes to play. Let's see what we're in store for.
Our Laura Kitchen will be back down on the Barrie bench when we return to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
The Quintessence Coalition brings you immersive experiences and conscious collaborations from artists across the country. Don't miss the sights, sounds, and spirits of the Quintessence Coalition. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Downstairs we go. Our Laura Kitchen on the Barrie bench. Our intermission interviews brought to you by Intersure Home Comfort. Feel right at home. Laura joined by Barrie forward Ben Wilmot. Laura, take it away.
Thank you, Reed. 20 minutes of play. You're up 1-0. What have you liked about what your team's done so far?
Yeah, I think we've done a good job sticking to our identity and to our brand. I thought the jam's been really high. The positivity's been there. We just got to keep going and have a good next few periods here.
You've put up 17 points in 15 games. What's been working well for you this postseason?
Yeah, a lot of the credit goes to my teammates and my line mates. They make it really easy for me out there. And honestly, I just love to have fun and compete and do whatever it takes to get the win. So we're just enjoying this moment, enjoying the opportunity, and looking forward for a big win tonight.
You're down 3-1 in the series. Now you're here at Game 7. What's the main focus heading into the next two periods?
Yeah, just belief. This group, it's really special. Something I've never seen before in a group, how tight we are. And just the belief factor, knowing that we're going to go in every single game and give it our best. And, it's really hard to play with us when we're at our best, so we just bring it every night.
Well, good luck in the next two. Bulldogs hockey will be back on Rogers TV after a short break.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
Hello, just want to remind you that Lions TV Bingo is on Mondays here on Rogers TV, starting at 8, running till 9.
And we're off like a herd of turtles.
Holy sugar.
Goal 29.
Same great show, lots of prizes given away, and lots of funny little trivia along the way. Please join us, 8 o'clock every Monday, right here on Rogers TV.
Giovanni Petiti has killer monologues, great local guests who have too much talent for national late night, and this show's got high energy. Bills. It's the show TV critics are saying is just like Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, if you ordered it on Temu. So join me Sundays at 9 p.m. on Rogers TV. Hey, I've seen your social calendar. What else do you got to do, huh? Nice.
We're back here with the Barrie Colts after the conclusion of Game 6 with Barrie's head coach Dylan Smolsowitz and forward Mason Zabeski. Coach, you talk about winning the day all the time. What did you guys do exactly yesterday to win the day and win today's result?
I'm not going to give you our secret to success, but what I can tell you is that there was a very unfortunate injury to one of our players, and he was having a tough day. And when he went back to his billet house, by himself, it's not a fun place to be when you're having a rough day. 25 of his brothers showed up to keep him company and make sure his spirits were high. So it wasn't anything that I did for the players or any instruction we gave them. It was a brotherhood that, this game was won last night when those 25 guys showed up to help a brother.
Now, Mason, the overtime hero tonight. Kind of just take us through going into overtime and kind of that mindset in the room to lead to your goal.
Yeah, I think not much changed for us throughout the game in the room and our kind of energy levels. I think as the game went on, we kind of found our game kind of increase with intensity and physicality, and we just got better and better. And I think for us, we used that momentum, and we just had to believe from the start of the series that no matter what, we were going to kind of push through everything, and that's the same mindset we kept throughout the overtime and throughout the game.
And Mason, take me through that goal. Icing gets back to the point. Did you know that you're going to go to the backhand, and did you kind of figure that out as soon as you get to the point?
I honestly forgot a lot about what happened during the goal, but that's kind of my thing, is kind of hunting around the net. And when I got the puck, I had a lot more time than I thought, so I just tried to make a nice finesse move in front.
Dylan, it didn't seem like Ben wanted you guys to go home tonight. I mean, just about his performance in that. I mean, you've seen so many of these, and in a big stage like this, that he comes up big again.
It's been like that, honestly, every game he's played this year for us. If there are any NHL teams out there watching this game tonight, to not have this guy on your list, to not have this guy as a must-get in this draft, it is beyond me. I mean, the saves he made, and he's not stopping pucks of 16 and 17-year-olds. He's stopping shots from guys who are going to wear NHL jerseys next year on Brantford. There's not a day that he has been in Barrie where he's let me down. There hasn't been a day where he's let his teammates down. He deserves all the accolades, and we are just so fortunate to have him as our backbone of this team.
What did you tell the team? I mean, it's a similar position as Game 5, where you're able to come back from down a goal and then win it in overtime. Same thing here tonight.
To be honest with you, Gene, I would love to tell you that it was a big speech or something that I did to make it happen. It's just a bunch of guys who love each other, who didn't want this thing to end, a bunch of guys who believe in each other, a bunch of guys who are prepared for the moment. I think that's the biggest thing, that the moment doesn't overwhelm them because they've put the work in. If the work wasn't done, the moment would overwhelm them. They wouldn't be prepared for it. These guys have put the work in. They've done more than they needed to be ready for a moment like that. So they make my job very easy. I go in the room, and whatever needed to be said has already been said. We've got 20 leaders in that room on any given night, and it's a special group. I'm telling you, it's a special group.
Hey Mason, how nice was it to get a smile on Golden's face there?
It was pretty nice. Pretty nice. Obviously, we feel bad. It was a big heartbreak, not just for him, but the whole team. He's our brother, and that's one thing that we kind of implement every day is our familyhood and brotherhood. And to make him smile and kind of do it for him meant a lot to us.
Now, Coach, maybe touch on Jade Newton, 2 goals tonight. Comes up big once again for you guys. What are you kind of seeing from his game?
Every team has these heart and soul kind of guys. And oftentimes, a heart and soul kind of guy is left out of the shuffle. Jaden Newton doesn't play in our power play. Jaden Newton isn't going to get 20 minutes of ice time per game. But Jaden Newton is a reason why a team has success. Like, you want to talk about a positive force who brings that leadership, who brings that grit, who would stand up for any one of his brothers at any given time and really embodies what the Barrie Colts are all about. That is Jaden Newton. So if there was one guy that I could pick to be rewarded in a big moment like this because he deserves it, it's Jaden Newton. And it's, again, you want to talk about Mason putting a smile on Cole's face. JD's goal put a smile on my face. His second goal put an even bigger smile on my face. I love that kid.
This now concludes Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series presented by Nissan. Game 7 will be Monday night in Brantford. Thank you.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
Hello, just want to remind you that Lions See the Bingo is on Mondays here on Rogers TV, starting at 8, running till 9.
And we're off like a herd of turtles. Holy sugar gold 29.
Same great show, lots of prizes given away, and lots of funny little trivia along the way. Please join us, 8 o'clock every Monday, right here on Rogers TV.
Giovanni Petiti has killer monologues, great local guests who have too much talent for national late night, and this show's got high energy. Bills. It's the show TV critics are saying is just like Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, if you ordered it on Temu. So join me Sundays at 9 p.m. on Rogers TV. Hey, I've seen your social calendar. What else do you got to do, huh? Nice.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Around the Ontario Hockey League, this is obviously the only game in action because the West was won, and congratulations to the Kitchener Rangers as they defeated the Windsor Spitfires in 5 games in that series to take the Wayne Gretzky Trophy as Western Conference champions. They await the winner of tonight's game between the Bulldogs and the Barrie Colts. It was a tougher series than 5 games would look. Kitchener had to make multiple comebacks in games in that series, including in Game 7 to capture the Western Conference. They will now wait for Wednesday night. It will either be at TD Civic Center or at the Memorial Odd in Kitchener, depending on the final of this one. We've got another 40 minutes at least to find that out, and we'll be back with the highlights of period number 1 and our second frame when we return on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
As conflict escalates in the Middle East, millions of people are in urgent need of food, water, shelter, and medical care. Humanitarian coalition members are moving fast to deliver aid in Lebanon, Syria, and across the region. But we need your support to save even more lives. Donate now at together.ca. Your donation can help families caught in the Middle East emergency. That's together.ca, the humanitarian coalition. Together, saving more lives.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
I don't care what the law is. I will never be a slave. That word, I hate it. It rests on my tongue like rot.
Peter, how does it feel to get paid for your work?
There are rumors freedom's coming for us all.
Freedom, you know that's all I want.
Chloe, careful. Vrooman would rather sell you across the river to America than let you go free.
Then I'll run.
I've run before. Maybe this time for good.
Just get her into a boat. No!
Chloe? Chloe, no!
Word of Chloe Cooley's resistance led to Canada's first legislation limiting slavery. After 200 years, slavery was abolished in Canada in 1834.
We welcome you back to TD Civic Center here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. 1-0 for the Barrie Colts through 20 minutes of this Game 7. Norm, we'll go back into the first period, see how we got there. The Bulldogs had their chances early in that frame. The Colts had a couple of really good offensive zone shifts, and their goal comes off the second one.
Yeah, absolutely, and a really good work here by the Colts. Here you see him, some of the early chances. Charlie Paquette driving the net here, just trying to squeeze that in on short side of Ben Horebic. Another good opportunity here with a couple of tips. Nice little spin shot there, again by Paquette. Some good work down low here by the Bulldogs again to create an opportunity as Dravetsky, but Horebic can see all the way, and we've seen in this series, if he can see it, he can stop it. Good look there, Luchenko to Van Acker. And we're going to see the goal here. That's a really good opportunity here, a little jam play. And goal coming up here momentarily. Leenders, good all period, but Aitchison, great shot there off the little short pass. And that's where we stand. And listen, there are no absolutes in junior hockey, but you do wonder if the Bulldogs playing home here, if you need to kind of get one in the first little bit of this second period to get back on even footing.
This building would certainly appreciate something to get on their feet about. We'll take a look at our scoring summary for period number 1, brought to you by our friends at Ladies Who Lead in conjunction with West Brant Window World. Keishawn Aitchison on the board again at 18:39 from Parker Von Richter and Brad Gardner. Shots 12-11 in favor of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs narrowly won the face-off battle in period 1 as well, but Norm, they got to find a way past Ben Horebic.
Yeah, and it was 13-3 at one point, the face-offs in favor of the Colts, and the Bulldogs eventually, get in a bit of a run there. But yeah, lots in store here in this second period. Second period, by the way, for the Bulldogs, the best during the regular season. I know sometimes we just throw out the regular season stats, but we shall see what we got here coming up.
Down to ice level we go as we start period number 2, and there you see the man who has the difference maker right now. Keishawn Aitchison, we know how good he can be. Jake O'Brien will lean in with Ben Wilmot to open this second frame. Puck is down, Bulldogs going left to right across your speakers here in period number 2. As Sandu sends it around the back to Van Acker. Van Acker will play it up and out, and it'll be returned right back in as Sandu sweeps over top of it. Danford on to Bannock. Bannock taking this shift with Van Acker and O'Brien.
Combination we saw for much of the regular season.
So the Bulldogs may be trying something early here in the second as Van Acker lays the hit on Passmore. It frees up the puck to Bannock, who twists, fires, just deflected wide. Van Acker was rolling to that puck. Van Acker out high, plays it indirect to the corner. Bannock will continue it around the back. Wilmot steps to him. Left wing corner, Van Acker floated that on. I think he wanted Bannock. It got blocked down. Wilmot and Hemming exchanging up the ice. Hemming sends it to the front. Leenders off back glass. Puck bounces to the side of the Brantford goal. Wilmot waves it to the line. Hanser over to Von Richter. Off the stick of Gabriel Frasca. Puck pops down to the end boards, and Zach Sandu has it. Bannock swings it around the back. He and Crombie continue to tie up as the puck run up the wall. Protz takes it away. His shot deflected by Frasca. That caught glass. Luchenko and Testa joining Frasca on this rotation.
Yeah, now it's the line we saw really in the early part of this playoffs. It was really when the Bulldogs went on the road that Jay McKee and staff kind of tweaked the lines a little bit, kind of balance out the older, heavier players. Get a little bit of heft on some of those other groups. Banach, O'Brien, and Van Acker, really dynamic trio, but at times can get a little too much east-west and not enough north-south.
Judd Luchenko for the faceoff, and a violation warning given. He'll step back in against Brad Gardner. Luchenko wins the draw clean onto Adam Jedicek. He'll walk on. His shot blocked. Second chance. Puck exploded on him. Tossing it back to the front. Testa was stationed. Puck cuts around the back of the net. Luchenko getting over top of it. Salandra to the corner. Hanser battling it along to Von Richter. Trying to pull away from Testa, who keeps it alive. Puck waved up the glass and out, and on the fresh sheet, that's going to run for icing.
Troy, it looked like Juracek had a really good look on that rebound of his own shot, but it kind of super bowled away from him a little bit.
Yeah, and all the Barrie forwards just collapsed down to help out, and there's just bodies everywhere. He tried to look for, an open shot, but just couldn't find it.
Good low shot along the ice into some skates might be what the doctor ordered.
Caleb Maholter with Cooper Dennis and Charlie Paquette. This line remains the same. Rot's trying to show off the hops as Crombie brings the puck down moving forward. Jedicek sprinting over to it. Crombie keeps it alive. Tossed it out front, batted away from Schneid. Paquette chugging onto it, neutral ice. He'll curl on the left side. Paquette tried it, hit the apron of the goal, and that got up into the mesh out of play.
See Cole Emerton and Troy, that was right in front of you. Got caught in between a couple of decisions whether to step up or step back, and Paquette there was able to take advantage.
Yeah, Paquette was coming at full speed, and he made the right judgment there and didn't pinch. And Paquette got a shot on net, but just a perimeter one to that.
I can tell you, someone who's played the position, that is a miserable feeling, and generally I picked the wrong decision.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Amongst other reasons.
Amongst other reasons, correct. As Emerton lobs the puck up and out. Low sets it on the tee for Schneid to skate onto. Tipped around the back by Trevetsky. Paquette through a thicket, couldn't get the puck cleanly. He'll get to Eliasson, and that came off his skate. Cooper Dennis extending up the left side, and Eliasson with that length, just able to get the puck back. It's got to be like trying to get around a condor. Trevetsky on to Dennis. Dennis tried to lay that forward, came off of a skate. He'll take it back into his own zone. Vladimir Trevetsky. Up ahead, Maholtra rolls it into the offensive end. Bulldogs were making a change behind it. Puck jammed off the wall. Parker Holmes tried to keep that alive. It'll be McCormick on his backhand, swings low, feeding towards the middle of the ice. That'll roll up and out. Aitchison handles it down. He'll flash it around back of the Brantford net, and that somehow sprung up and out of play with 16:39 to play in the second period.
Good play by Edgar there, just to give his defenseman Aitchison a moment to field that puck. As Tashurner was coming in full speed, and he just kind of skated in between them, through a little bit of a legal pick. Legal, not illegal. To allow Aitchison to get control of that puck. Jaw's going to come out here to center ice.
Yeah, as long as you're just standing your ground, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, that fourth line, energy line for the Bulldogs out here. Holmes with Tashurna and Ryder Bolton out here now.
Engel picks the puck around back of his own net to Danford, sliding it on to Bolton. Bolton off glass and out. Puck tied up right at the Barrie blue line. Play would have been offside. Danford stepped up for it. That slid away, and Hanser will throw it into the Brantford zone. Return quickly to Tashurna. On to Ryder Bolton. Bolton up ahead to Tashurna. Tossing it into the offensive zone off the back glass. Hanser a whack at it. Desiderio's the next man. He'll get past the line and out. Edison Engel rolling back onto the puck. Engel D to Danford. Middle of the ice, Bolton. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Tashurna, wide right, onto Van Acker left, came off his skate, couldn't get it to sit for him.
Bulldogs had a decent look there, but just couldn't execute on that 3-on-2 to get a good shot off.
Leanders wraps the puck around the wall. It'll skip past Sebeski. Reaching for it was O'Brien. Puck was on the roll, and Emerton forward. Danford tried to jump the route, gets tipped around back of the Brantford net.
Bulldogs, both teams careful there, just in the middle of line changes, not to get called for too many men. That might be the only type of penalties we see here tonight.
O'Brien on to Bannock, left side, tried it upstairs, save Horebic, he'll get the glove down on top of it, and then Jake O'Brien is clobbered at the net front.
Yeah, just coming at the end of that play, and he and Keishon Aitchison get involved, and Aitchison...
Yeah, just totally unnecessary.
He and Passmore and Eliason have, this whole Colts defense corps have not been shy. And some would say that's part of the playoffs. Again, good look here as the Bulldogs just stay on side for this opportunity as Bannock just tries to flip that one on goal. And it's what you're going to see in a Game 7, that kind of sequence. And everyone just lines up and we continue with the 5-on-5.
O'Brien up against Gardner in the draw.
Jay McKee just talking with the official in front of the bench here, giving him an earful about that last takedown by Aitchison.
Puck up ahead, O'Brien sending it around the back. Ben Horebic on to play it. Stripped from him, O'Brien in the slot. Blocked off on the way to the front of the net. Aitchison trying to hop up on the play. Hemming couldn't keep his footing on a sneak away. O'Brien back ahead. Hemerton able to swing the puck. Aitchison will collect it. Didn't get it out. Yedicek couldn't get it to sit. Numbers going the other way. Hemming over the line. Pulls, fires, saved by Leenders. Puck poked to the wall. Boy, a little bit of madness as nobody could get the puck to sit. Merrick Van Acker is playing without a stick as Eliasson rolls. Puck got deflected up off the glass. O'Brien tried to find it next. Now Yedicek to it. This time it'll flatten for him. And he'll get it off glass and out. Van Acker rolling to the puck. Eliasson will take it to Salandra. Salandra had it stick loose by O'Brien. Frasca arriving, and that just ripped away from them. Trotz D to Yedicek. He's got to navigate the deadwood. Jet Luchenko in on the left wing side. Pulls up. Fishes it for Testa's drive. Up and over the top. Frasca flattens it out. Testa tried the sharp angle. Frasca to the left point. Danford. Danford pulls up. Frees it off the wall. Tip along from Luchenko to Frasca. Wilmot had the next touch. Now Crombie will collect it and send it out.
Good shift by this older line for the Bulldogs. You called them the grumpy old men earlier on in the playoffs as they get this puck down low and just work it.
Testa over to Luchenko. Drops it back. Wanted Sandu. He wasn't tight enough to get the shot. Fished out of the zone.
I'd like to see Luchenko take the backhand there.
Puck waved out of the air by Crombie down low. He'll send it around the back of the net. Aitchison on the left side. Working at Frasca. Shot is blocked by Danford.
Yeah, high-risk pass, Troy, that almost backfired.
Puck forward to Testa, who tips it all the way down to Horebic. Aitchison up ahead. Sending it around the back of the net. Leenders out to make a play. Leenders scatters it off glass. That'll get into neutral ice. Passmore trouble with the handle. Malhotra sprints to the puck. Malhotra down the middle. Save Horebic. Rebound. Tossed wide of the net. Lowe got back to make the play. Aitchison from in deep in his own zone. Newton up ahead for Lowe. Lowe working at Trevetsky. In and out of the glove of Leenders, who makes the stop, and he'll hang on to the rebound as well. And then Lowe back to the front of the Bulldogs net. That'll draw a crowd, and it'll all dissipate with 12:38 left to play in the middle frame. Colts still holding a 1-0 lead on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final, 12:38 left to play in the second period. And right now, guys, the Bulldogs looking for an answer to Ben Horebic.
Yeah, and just that one goal by Kayshawn Aitchison with 1:21 left in the first period, and that's all we have. Shots 15 apiece, Troy. And face-offs pretty even as well. The Colts with an edge, 17-16 as they line up here for the offensive zone draw.
Troy was over having a laugh with Chris Cook on the Bulldogs bench.
No time for laughter in the middle of a broadcast here. Come on.
I thought he was going to give me a job, like giving out sticks or something, you know?
Well, I don't think you want that pressure, Troy.
Cooper Dennis into the offensive zone. Caleb Maholtra. Down the right wing wall. On to Paquette. Paquette twists in the circle. Has a look out high. Battle ensues in front. Paquette sends it there. Across the front of the goal. Protz handles it from the left point. Protz waits for the crowd. Deflected wide of the net. Bulldogs are getting bodies to the front. Just trying to get the puck through the crowd. Lowe lobs it. Batted down by Protz. Trevetsky's the next man.
Yeah, Bulldogs mixing and matching the defense pairs a little bit here as well, just to give some different looks.
Puck around back of the net. Funny bounce off the wall.
Play 7 games, you get to know one another.
Zabeski forward. Kicked away by Leanders. Zabeski taken to the wall by Trevetsky. Send him to the ice. Puck poked loose. Looking to start out. Maholtra guiding it into the neutral zone. Aitchison will bring it down. Aitchison over to Passmore. Trevetsky steps in front of the puck. Van Acker wraps it around the back. Horebic sliding it on to Aitchison. Danford ties up with Wilmot forward. Bulldogs keep possession. Sandu on to Van Acker. Now O'Brien left wing side. O'Brien all the way back to the line. Puck kicked on Sandu and out of the zone.
Yeah, just bounce, hit that kick plate at the bottom of the boards and just up it went.
Danford forward to O'Brien, just inside the blue. O'Brien weaves on to Sandu left to the front. Saved by Horebic. Puck poked to the end wall. Aitchison calmly just guides that off the boards.
Just gets that puck to a safe area.
Crombie tosses wide of the net. Gardner following up. Stripped of it by Adam Banach. Starting at Eliasson with Danford on his right. Down low, Banach. Aitchison approaches. Aitchison with a nifty little stick to get that puck loose. O'Brien tracks him down, puck to the boards. Tipped out past Danford. Sandu first man back, and puck will be tagged along for Frasca.
Bulldogs with layers here, and Frasca comes back and fills, and that allows the Bulldogs to keep puck possession.
Sandu forward to Banach. Nice tip on there. Has O'Brien over the line. O'Brien pulls up to the slot. Tried to slide through two, but the next layer is Protz. Adam Yedicek. Backdoor O'Brien. Saved by Horebic. Banach from around back of the goal. Has a look to the front of the net. Banach for Yedicek. Back to Banach. Right circle. Pulls. Yedicek. Back onto Banach. They continue the exchange. Banach turns. Wanted it into the pile. Crombie blocked it down and out.
Yeah, fans looking for the shot there, but that was not the play. Colts just had too many numbers. Packed inside, protecting home plate.
Protz will fly up the rink on the left wing side. Ducks the shoulder, wrap around to the front, just away from Testa. Yedicek keeps it alive. Saved by Horebic again. Puck sent back out to the slot. Protz handles, fires, rebound, bouncing. Yedicek got underneath it. Puck wouldn't sit flat. Luchenko walks down. He tried to play it along. It'll be sent through neutral ice all the way down. It's icing. The Bulldogs, a furious pressure on the Barrie goal.
And again, an appreciative hand here from the crowd at TD Civic Center. Sort of best sequence Bulldogs have had in a while. Owen Protz, a bit of a tendency breaker here, Troy, with the rush to create a little bit of mayhem. And Yedicek with a great look, but just Horebic there again with the stick.
It was actually Hanser, Troy, that got that.
Yeah, it was a great job by the Bulldogs recognizing that they got the fourth line stuck out there for Barrie and took advantage of it. But yeah, just a couple passes too many. But Ben Horebic, that stop that he made on O'Brien was just something else at this angle.
Maholtra against Edgar. Edgar able to deal the puck off the draw. Desiderio around the boards. Skips out to neutral ice. McCormick's up ahead. Sandu tracking him. McCormick to the front. Swept the puck wide of the net, but the Colts will start to change. Maholtra ahead off the left, working at Von Richter. Tried to step through him. Dennis next man for Yedicek on and off his stick. Sandu down the wall. Malhotra handling it in deep. Puck sent to the front. Knifed away there from Paquette. Carter Lowe starts out. Sandu tracking him back. Lowe's drive to the left wing corner. Schneid hauled up there. Leanders playing that away to Cooper Dennis. Dennis on his backhand for Charlie Paquette. Paquette had to handle that out of the air. Von Richter was there. Paquette forced him to the wall, and whoa, Von Richter just got the angle on that to keep it alive, but it'll be icing with Trevetsky back.
The Bulldogs are getting another offensive zone draw here. And you can feel the pressure ratcheting it up, and I said between periods, there are no absolutes in junior hockey. The Bulldogs, you hope to get one in the first 10 minutes of this second period, but I think what you've seen is they've really taken the offensive momentum here for the last little bit, Troy.
Yeah, it's exactly what we've been waiting for this game, a surge in this Barrie Colts zone, but they just still can't get one past Horebic.
O'Brien off the face-off. Trying to dig the puck loose there was Van Acker to help him. O'Brien and Newton both went sliding to the ice and will be lobbed in the neutral zone. Danford brings it down to Trevetsky, D to D. Danford back ahead, Vladimir Trevetsky. Left wing side is Banach. Banach pulls at the slot, O'Brien backside, save Horebic. Banach again around the back of the net, Van Acker has to look, Danford's drive. I think that puck was on edge as he got the shot away. Van Acker pressing down the wall, knew he was going to take the hit from Aitchison, kept the puck moving. O'Brien sending it around the back of the net, Van Acker's the next man. Van Acker with a look to the line, left point Trevetsky. Trevetsky walks down the wall towards the corner, send it out front, save, rebound. Banach stays onto it, fished it out to Trevetsky, to Danford, blocked on the way through. Danford collects it onto O'Brien, high slot, his drive, blocked by Von Richter, and that'll get into the mesh out of play with 7:19 left in the middle period.
Yeah, some good looks. You just got to keep coming if you're the Brantford Bulldogs. You know, you're building here, and I know the fans are looking for that shot from the high slot, but it's just not there, I don't think, Troy. You just sort of see the Colts are just packed so tight in that home plate area.
Yeah, it's just a mass of humanity out in front of Horebic. You can see 5 guys in a space of about 10 feet square, and there's just no way that puck is getting through anywhere.
No, I think your best option is just to go side to side like they've been doing.
Yep, and you know, they dish that puck out to the side, to the wings, to O'Brien. He gets some great looks, some great shots, but Horebic is just so quick laterally that, you know, he stopped everything they've thrown at him.
They've called one of the both referees over here to the penalty box. Take a look at something. Jason Faced
there's some
and Damian Figueroa.
Some type of review occurring here.
Mason Zabeski and Owen Protz awaiting an explanation. So,
folks, your guess is as good as ours.
Yeah, we didn't catch anything on live. You have to think they're either. No, that was really quick. Whatever it was. Jason Facey, man, I don't know what that was about. Somebody saw something.
That was odd.
Yeah, that was definitely initiated from upstairs.
Okay. Chet Luchenko to take the draw against Ben Wilmot. Puck drawn to the right wing corner. Emerton sends it around. Prod stepping up. Puck stays in the offensive zone. Testa below the goal line. Emerton will try it again. On his backhand. Stick lift by Luchenko on Zabeski. Puck jammed to the boards. Luchenko waved it out of the air, got the next touch, and now from inside the zone, that came clean out to neutral ice over the glass.
They're saying it hit something, the officials.
Yeah, the official.
Oh, we're right above that. That did not look like it caught anything on the way out.
Yeah, Luke Pye, I noticed he had very quickly indicated that it hit something.
Oh, Bulldogs going to get an offensive zone draw here, and they've just continued the pressure. Here's a look at that play that, you're going to see it here just in a moment. I guess they're feeling that hit Juracek's stick. That's all I got.
Emerton to the end wall. Testa pressing forward. Testa freed the puck up momentarily. Emerton, nice play to stick with it and get the backhand up and out. Sandu, nice little slide to the front. Got through 2 to Danford on his right. Danford with the drop to Testa. He'll drive the front. Testa to the front of the net, send it into the pile, and just nobody there to be able to find the backside.
Yeah, Luchenko's just turned around, and that puck was on his back, so he could not get to it. But that move by Sandu eliminated 2 Colts and gave them a 5-on-3 going the other way.
Frasco over the line, trying to collect it. Aitchison off his stick and out. Gardner sending it around the back of the Brantford goal.
Coach is trying to relieve some pressure and get some offensive zone time here.
Salandra off his backhand. He'll rotate high. Salandra all the way out to the top for Aitchison, sneaking down on the left of the slot, tipped wide by Gardner.
Really good look there by Gardner in close, Reed.
Ultra bombs that forward. Dennis will track it. Aitchison up the wall. Gardner's next into neutral ice. Danford sends it right back in as he and Crombie came together.
And the Colts just keeping it simple. When they get an opportunity to get that puck out of the zone, they're just chipping it out.
Aitchison around the back to Passmore. Crombie intercepted there by Paquette. Puck up the wall again though, and Salandra has it in neutral ice and he'll roll it in deep.
Also, the Bulldogs expending a lot of energy here on the forecheck. You wonder how long they can keep it up.
Hanser drives that on wide of the net. Low handles it down. Prots around the back. Newton. Stop and start taken away by Paquette. Paquette's play didn't come out, but Maholtra's will. Maholtra up ahead. 2 in the rush. Make it 3. Maholtra across the ice for Dennis. Carter Lowe just got to stick to that. And Lowe will toss the puck up and out and down the rink.
Looked like that puck was going to get turned over in the Bulldog zone, but Dennis just got a little 1-foot pass to Malhotra, and that set the Bulldogs out of their zone.
Rods quickly on ahead to Van Acker in deep. O'Brien will chase it. Working against Hanser. O'Brien takes a stick to the mouth, and yeah, this is going to be a penalty.
We're going to go to break here, and Bulldogs will be setting up in the power play when we get back.
4:45 to play. Actually, we're going to go downstairs where our Troy Islikar is going to be with one of the stars of the 2022 OHL champions, as well as Allsvenskan leading scorer last season, George Diaco. Troy, take it away.
Yeah, familiar face for Bulldogs fans, Hamilton Bulldogs fans, George Diaco, OHL champion. George, welcome back. Great to have the alumni back in the building. You're familiar with Game 7s. What did you say, if anything, to the guys before this one?
Yeah, I didn't get to see the guys before, but they know what they're doing. They're led by a great coach with Jay there, and yeah, they look good right now. So hopefully keep it up and get one on this power play now.
Talk about yourself since we last saw you, went overseas to play. Give us a little bit of what that's like.
Yeah, it's been great. I've been in Sweden the last 3 years. I'm going to Finland next year, so I'm really excited for it. And yeah, I got no complaints. It's been good.
Now, if you were Coach Jay McGee, what would you tell your guys here? 4:55 left to go in the second period. What would you tell them? A little hint to get them back in this one.
They're here for a reason, right? It's a conference finals, Game 7. I just think they got to play their game and stay within the system, and they'll be fine.
Thanks, George. And guys, back to you. And George and I here will talk about the 2022 championship a little bit.
That sounds like a good time. George Diaco.
Thanks, George.
On that run with Yanni Mishak and Mark Duarte. What a third line that was for that Bulldogs group.
Bulldogs onto the power play here. Hanser with the penalty.
It's Maholtra, Banach, Van Acker, O'Brien, and Yedicek. And it'll be Maholtra against Gardner in the circle. And Maholtra got the draw, but as they tried to pull it back to O'Brien, it'll roll out of the zone.
Yeah, a little too clean.
Yedicek setting up from behind his own goal and will start out. Yedicek flattens it out to O'Brien. O'Brien ahead. Over the line, wanted Banach, Von Richter into the path. O'Brien able to knock that out of the air. Von Richter gets the next touch, and all the way down the rink it'll go.
And if you're the Bulldogs, great opportunity here. The league's best power play during the regular season. Third so far in the playoffs. They score 1 out of every 3 opportunities on average.
Jake O'Brien starting into neutral ice. O'Brien has a look left and right.
Almost had a little malfunction at the junction there, Reed.
Almost. Spins away from Hemming. Now Banach. Banach at the top. Zabeski watching him. Low to Maholtra on the right side. Maholtra around the back of the net. Tries to feed onto O'Brien. It'll get back onto Hemming and down the rink.
Bulldogs just had too many players down below the puck.
Leaders play forward onto Maholtra. Maholtra trying to dance through Aitchison. Banach dropping it back to Yedicek. Over to O'Brien. Left circle. Fires. Save. Rebound. Maholtra. Did it get over the line? It did not.
No, a puck just bounced at the feet of Caleb Maholtra, and before he could react, Didn't catch the number of the Colts defenseman. It might be Van Richter who recovered in time. It might be Mason Zabeski as well. Get a look here. Real good rush here by Malhotra to get this set up. Puck support by Banach allows the Bulldogs to move this around. You see the puck right there at the feet, and it's Aitchison and Zabeski on the tag team to stop Malhotra from tapping that into the empty cage, and you wonder sometimes if it's not your night.
Well, you got to feel like they just got to keep pressing here, Norm, because the chances have been there. The opportunities have been there. They just haven't gotten anything to sit.
Yep, 47 seconds left in the man advantage.
Malhotra against Gardner. Malhotra another draw. Van Acker to O'Brien. To Malhotra. Out top. Wanted it for Jedicek. It'll be Banach instead. Jedicek playing it on to Van Acker. He'll flatten, he'll walk. Saved by Hrebeck. Van Acker trying to pull it back to the outside and does. For Banach. Still half a minute to work with. Banach on to Jedicek. Back to Banach. One-timer. And Hrebeck will soak that one in with 3:19 left in the middle frame and 24 seconds left in the power play.
Well worked, Troy, but the Bulldogs just not getting that screen set up again. They kind of were bookending Hrebeck on that shot by Banach.
Yeah, even a fly-by screen would work at this time. The Bulldogs, Barrie just doing a great job of keeping them out to the perimeter and then checking the guys down low, not letting them block those shooting lanes of Hrebeck so he can see. And wow, what a wall Hrebeck has been for the Barrie Colts.
Changing up here, sorry, Troy getting that second unit out there with 24 seconds left in the hands or penalty. He's on his feet already, hoping to escape.
Yeah, they'll go with a two defense look here. It'll be Luchenko, O'Brien, and Malhotra with Trevetsky and Danford. Luchenko gets the draw to Danford. Trevetsky from the top, O'Brien. Back on to Vladimir Trevetsky. Right side is Malhotra to the bumper. Danford had moved there. Wouldn't work for him. Puck out of the zone. Trevetsky will take it back into his own end. Trevetsky trying to curl away from Wilmot. Played it forward. Hemming on the intercept. Sends it back in. Trevetsky flattens it out. Hanser's on his feet and he'll escape captivity. Malhotra up the left wing side. Tried to hold up along the wall. Trevetsky blocks it down. Malhotra trying to step through the pile. O'Brien's the next layer. Peels away from two. O'Brien shifting loose. Puck up the wall. Luchenko helping run it back to the line for Trevetsky. Drop back down behind the net. Luchenko arriving at Eliasson. And Eliasson just doesn't move when you run into him.
Big, at the risk of stating the obvious, big penalty kill by the Barrie Colts. They still up 1-0, just over 2 minutes to go in the second period. Bulldogs just need to keep pressing forward with the momentum that they've generated, and they're going to get an offensive zone draw here.
On the icing with 2:16 left in the middle frame.
Yeah, with the way that Ben Hrebeck is playing and these Barrie Colts are playing around them, you almost wonder if they can just hold on here with this one-goal lead. It's just been phenomenal effort by this Colts team.
Shots 13-6 in the second period.
Yeah, you get a goal from your top defenseman and one of your top players, and then you rally around your goaltender, and that's what they've done over the course of this second period. And conversation is going on here by the officials, with the officials. What it does do is give the Colts a breather after icing the puck. And we're going to go take a look at something here on the tablet again. We will wait to see.
Yeah, all the coaching staff for the Bulldogs are a little perplexed here. They have no idea what they're looking at here. So I'm glad it's not just us.
Yeah, it's getting explained to Jay McKee by linesman Luke Pye.
Play is under review, but what play is under review?
Yeah, is there perhaps a penalty of some sort that was missed that they're picking up on review?
Luca Testa is being skated over to the penalty box.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Well, I think it'll all become clear in a moment, or clear-ish, once this review is completed. It's just power play in which they generated certainly plenty of looks, but could not beat the Colts penalty kill and Ben Harabik there. You see Vince Lays on the right.
Now, what
and
the
Jay
argument,
McKee on your left, looking at what the officials are looking at. Go
what
ahead.
the argument from the Bulldogs side was Jake O'Brien went up to the officials and showed he was bleeding after the high stick from Hansard. It ended up being a 2-minute penalty. Zabeski came over and was showing something to the officials, and they rallied and went to the review. So I think that's why Jake O'Brien was as perturbed as he was.
Well, shots in this second period for the Bulldogs, 13-6, 25-17 overall. Face-off's pretty even, 21-20 in favor of the Colts. And if you're just joining us, the only goal of this game came with 1:21 left in the first. Kayshawn Aitchison from Brad Gardner and Parker Von Richter, or maybe you've been with us and you forgot because it was so long ago that we had a goal. Almost a whole period ago.
Almost to the second, yeah, not far off here.
Game 3 of this series was 2-0, but otherwise it has been goals aplenty.
They are.
Yeah, I'm thinking here they've got to be investigating a high stick here that maybe was missed. And Zabeski is standing in front of the Barrie bench with a towel in his hand.
Okay, watch Testa 91. And I think he's going to catch. It's on the change. That's what they're looking at, we believe. And again, similar. Testa's just going up ice. I know there are those watching who are going to say you have to have control of your stick, but he doesn't even see Zabeski coming on the change, I don't think. It's coming on his backside, unless he's got eyes in the back of his head.
Yeah, he's coming off the bench, and like I said, yeah, he's coming in from behind him.
Just
doesn't even know he's there.
Yeah, just spots him there, Troy. Sorry. Cut you off.
And Jason Face is talking to the penalty bench attendants, and
yeah, waiting to see what's going to go up here on the board. It's going to be a Colts power play from the looks of it. And it's a 4-minute penalty to Luca Testa. And that is not going to make anybody in black and gold or those wearing it in the stands very happy.
No, and I think the Bulldogs may be going back to the power play they got, and Jake O'Brien was bleeding when he came off the ice and showed it to the officials, and they deemed that a 2-minute penalty.
So tough break for Testa, who I think did not see Zabeski coming on the change, and ends up taking a 4-minute penalty here. So 2:16 to go in this period. Bulldogs gonna have to kill that off in a minute 44 of the third if they're gonna keep this a 1-goal game.
Need a big PK here to the Bulldogs. Puck slid back to the point. Von Richter down the wall, past Hemming. Wilmot's over top of it. Sandu looking to locate. Hemming played it back into the pile to roll up the wall. Von Richter from the top on the left, pauses, plays it on to Hemming. Back to Von Richter, over to Aitchison. Aitchison from the right side, draws O'Brien. O'Brien interrupts the pass. Puck wouldn't sit for him. Down low, to the slot. Von Richter approaching. Backside, saved by Leenders on Wilmot. He'll hang on.
36 seconds killed off. That'll give the Bulldogs a chance to assess whether they want to keep these penalty killers out there, or nope, they're going to make some changes here at least. Looks like Malhotra.
No, Paquette and
Frasca. Thank you. Coming out.
Yeah, it wasn't a treacherous shift by no means, but they don't want to keep those guys out there, want to keep them fresh. Two new guys out here, just in case there's a lot of running around in the defensive zone.
And you got Sandu and Danford, brought them in here for a reason. One of the best penalty-killing defense duos in the Ontario Hockey League.
Kayshawn Aitchison's going to take this faceoff. Gets the scramble, and it'll get back to the line. To the top, Wilmot. Over to Hemming. Is there anything he can't do? Hemming from the middle of the blue. Aitchison. Puck hopped up on him. Low. Spins it around for Aitchison. Quickly back to the line. Hemming. Into the pile. Saved by Leenders. Danford tried to tap that along. Aitchison again. Didn't get it clean the first time, but Wilmot coming tight to rescue it. Aitchison on the right side. Tried to toss it out front. Danford blocked it. Aitchison again to the front. Leenders with the glove save. He'll hang on. 2:52 left in the Testa penalty.
Now you're going to see Malhotra and Dennis Troy coming over the boards here, and I think we're going to see Sandu and Danford stay, as you say.
Yeah, keep them fresh. You don't want to get a situation where You get those guys caught out there. Charlie Paquette coming off, breathing a little hard here, so working hard on that penalty kill. Got to get two fresh guys out.
Aitchison stays on. Gardner, Salandra, Crombie, and Emerton now for the Colts.
And you have the intermission coming up, so Sandu and Danford can grab their rest there if they have to.
Danford trying to swing it from the wall. Dennis stabs the puck down, looking to bring that forward. It wouldn't sit for him either. Aitchison down low, tries the sharp angle. Leenders played it up off his body. That got the mesh. Gardner backside for Aitchison. Now Emerton fires, blocked in front. Danford rolls it on to Dennis. Maholtra and Dennis 2-on-1. Caleb Maholtra fires, save Hrebic. Bouncing puck went over the stick of Dennis. Colts trying to get up the ice.
Bulldogs change the defense.
Crombie had it poked away from him. Puck back out high. Maholtra will pursue. Aitchison into the pile off the skate of Crombie. Rods throws Crombie to the ice. Dennis finds it first. That's up and out. Maholtra away again. Yedacek will join. Adam Yedacek wanted it back to Maholtra. It got blocked twice.
Hand pass.
Yeah, Kovacic saw the hand pass with 9.6 seconds left in the second period.
Well, Maholtra, who's gassed at the end of that penalty killing shift, was looking. He had Yedacek.
Two opportunities.
Yeah, two up. And again, Troy, sometimes you wonder if they just need to be a little bit more direct. Here's the opportunity there a moment ago. Like, Adam Yedacek, you're in a nice spot. Just get your shot on goal.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen him shoot there.
A 2-on-1 look shorthanded. You
Especially
have an opportunity to come away with a shot. Sorry.
He still had the puck on his stick, and the defenseman he was down, coming across. You know the chances are good. He's going to block that pass coming across. So, yeah, you got to take the shot.
Luchenko in shorthanded backhand. Save Hrebic. Rebound. O'Brien jams at it. Hrebic deals it back to his body with just over 2 seconds left in the period.
A bit of a set play there to set the Jet free, and he gets in behind and gets a good opportunity. Bulldogs getting 3 really good looks here shorthanded. Just look, as soon as this is one, he just takes off and catches the Colts flat-footed, but Ben Hrebic again to make the stop.
Yeah, Luchenko just couldn't get it over that right pad of Hrebic, or else it'd be a tie game. That was a great play.
I'd consider pulling the goalie here. If I was the Bulldogs, 2 seconds left, offensive zone draw.
Luchenko and Gardner on the drop.
I know, it's crazy talk.
Luchenko tried to get that back clean. Gardner will scramble it, and the Bulldogs will head down the tunnel, trailing by 1 with 20 minutes left in Game 7. But Norm, a great effort in that second period.
Yeah, some good opportunities on the power play, and again, shorthanded. And I think what they'll do here is regroup. They're going to have job one is the minute 44 left in the test of penalty, and then it's all in to try to get that equalizing goal.
We'll be back and send things down to ice level for our Laura Kitchen when we return to Big Steel Box Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV. Thank you.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
I am Gagwege. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there. God's sakes, man! Slow down.
Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
Hey, it's Chris and Cam, host of What's Buzzin', and listen, if you're looking for a fun spot to hang out, a way to stay connected in the community, and then to stay up to date on all things trending, you found it right here.
We have a lot of fun here on What's Buzzin'. We talk to so many amazing guests, and we also like to stir the pot just a little bit.
Yeah, we sometimes irritate each other here and there, we get a little bit of arguments, but it's all for fun, right?
Can't help that.
Yes, the magic all starts Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. on Rogers TV. Hope you're ready to join us.
See you there.
We're ready.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Our intermission interviews are brought to you by our friends at Enter Home Comfort. Feel right at home. Our lower kitchen downstairs with the Bulldogs' incredible rookie. It's Caleb Malhotra.
Thank you. 26 points in 14 games. Named Rookie and Player of the Week. What's been working well for you in the postseason?
I think our power play has been really good, and just playing with some really good line mates. We're just creating off the forecheck and then fortunate enough to get some points off of it.
Your family's been here a lot recently, specifically your dad. How's it to have him home and be here at the Madhouse?
It's been great. It's awesome to have them all supporting, especially having him come back after his season, and it's just nice to see him. Nice to know that they're there and supporting me.
It's Game 7. You're down 1-0 going into the third. What's the main focus and the main goal here for you guys?
Well, a lot of shot volume. We've been in this situation before. We're not worried. We're playing our game, and one of them's going to go in. So we're 2 shots away from winning this game, and we're pretty confident. We're ready to go.
Well, good luck in the next period. Bulldogs hockey will be back on Rogers TV after a short break.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge. Powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join the fun and claim rewards.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Oh, folks, not tonight when Giovanni Petiti has killer monologues. Great local guests who have too much talent for national late night, and this show's got high energy. Bills. It's the show TV critics are saying is just like Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, if you ordered it on Temu. So join me Sundays at 9 p.m. on Rogers TV. Hey, I've seen your social calendar. What else do you got to do, huh? Nice.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Aging Well brings you conversations with experts to help empower your golden years with enthusiasm and optimism. Don't miss Aging Well with Angela and Alice Liu, Mondays at 7 p.m. Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
We're here at the conclusion of Game 6 in Barrie between the Brantford Bulldogs and Barrie Colts. We're here with Brantford Bulldogs head coach Jay McKee and defenseman Ben Danford. Coach, an exciting game for both fan bases. What did you see from your vantage point tonight?
Well, I thought we played a great game. Obviously very happy with the effort, with the amount of chances that we generated. Disappointed with the result.
Right.
Jay, sorry. Over here. I thought the first and second period, I thought there was a lot of energy and high tempo. I thought you guys played very, very well. Third period, they looked to sit back a little bit. Was that by design, or did you see something that I didn't see? What did you see in the third period that was a little bit different, or did you see something in the third period?
No, it wasn't by design. We talked about playing for the next goal. I think I thought we played really well for the first 2 periods. Third period, their backs were against the wall. They were down. They're at home facing elimination, so they pushed. I thought it was an even period. We didn't control it as much as we did the first and second, but that's probably more so from them pushing real hard at the end.
Okay, obviously there was a few communications with the referees over certain things. Let's start at the beginning. The first goal for them, it looked like Linder's helmet came off. I thought there may have been 6 men on the ice. I don't know exactly what happened. What was the conversation that you guys had with the referee after that goal?
Well, usually when a goalie's helmet comes off, the play is blown dead for safety reasons. It wasn't blown there. So, that's what the discussion was, but they felt it was a good goal.
Second one, it looked like Jake O'Brien went around. Right away, you guys went to the tablet. Right away, you guys seemed to see something. Did they just probably not have the same angle that you guys had? What was the explanation on that one?
I don't know which one you're referring to there.
So the one that Hrebic reached back on the goal line to save. It was in the second period.
They just said it wasn't in.
Okay. And then the final one that you guys had going back. What was the call on that one?
Goalie interference.
What did you see on that? Did you?
Yeah, I mean, we saw Luka. Luka wasn't in the. You look at his feet there; it was never in the paint. The goalie starts outside the paint. Luka turns to look for the puck. They said he was in the crease.
Was it more of the goalie was in the crease and it was interference because the player was there, or did they see that Luka was in the or whoever was in the crease?
No, they said that Luka was in the crease.
The mood in the dressing room. What's the mood in the dressing room? What's it going to take to turn this around and get things going Monday?
Well, I want them to hold their heads high. We would take that effort every night. Thought we played a fantastic first 2 periods, controlled a lot of the play. Like I said, the third was fairly even, and we outshot them 10-2 in OT. We had a glorious, one-timer right in front of the goalie. Yurchek's opportunity. Van Acker has a really good opportunity late in the third. Again, we had our opportunities, and the effort. I thought our effort was incredible for the majority of the game. We made some mistakes. They found another OT win. So, I mean, their guys should be proud of that effort. We've got a really good opportunity to go home here and play in front of an amazing building, amazing fan base, and we should be looking this is what these players play for, is opportunities like this. So I'm excited about it.
One final question for Ben. Hrebic obviously had an outstanding game. I think he was one of the scoring the game on the season. For you guys, not being able to capitalize on those opportunities, was there any frustration for you guys to just keep pushing through? And coming into Monday's game, is that going to be forgotten, that performance that he had?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good goalie over there. I thought we had some really good, looks. I thought, a couple, we just didn't get our bounces on. Yeah, I mean, he played well. I was happy with their game. We were getting a lot of pucks on net. We had a lot of bodies, a lot of traffic. I thought we could have, had a couple more. Yeah, I mean, just kind of, look on this game tonight, move on, and be ready for Game 7. It's going to be a fun game.
You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation.
Are you a passionate content creator ready to expand your audience reach? Do you have unique stories, captivating hobbies, or special interests that deserve a spotlight? Rogers TV is here to amplify your voice within the community. We offer you the platform to broadcast your content to a wider audience. And the best part, it's completely free. Don't miss this opportunity to share your vision and engage with viewers. Find out how Rogers TV can transform your content journey today.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join the fun and claim rewards.
I love being a champ.
I am a member of the Warham's Child Amputee Program. Through CHAMP, I get the artificial limbs I need to participate in everyday activities.
I'm always growing, so I always need new devices.
Support and helpful information on living with an amputation is available to me anytime.
I get to meet other kids that are just like me.
It's your donations that make the Warham's CHAMP program possible. Thank you.
As conflict escalates in the Middle East, millions of people are in urgent need of food, water, shelter, and medical care. Humanitarian coalition members are moving fast to deliver aid in Lebanon, Syria, and across the region. But we need your support to save even more lives. Donate now at together.ca. Your donation can help families caught in the Middle East emergency. That's together.ca. The Humanitarian Coalition. Together, saving more lives.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. We're through 40 minutes of play. The Colts holding a 1-0 lead over the Bulldogs. No other OHL action. Let's check in on the big circuit. Philadelphia, Carolina going tonight, and the Philadelphia Flyers. 2 goals in quick succession in the first period. They came 39 seconds apart. It was Jamie Drysdale unassisted, followed by Sean Couturier's first of the postseason from Carl Grundstrom. At 10:21, the Hurricanes got right back into it. Nikolai Ehlers from Blake and Miller have that at 2-1 as they continue on through the second period. Carolina out shooting the Flyers by a 26-16 margin. Coming up later on tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights get going with the Anaheim Ducks in that second round series. And after a 9-6 thriller a night ago, tomorrow night at 8 p.m., the stage belongs to the Minnesota Wild and Colorado Avalanche. That one you will not want to miss. We'll be back with the highlights of period 2 and get you set for the biggest period of the season on Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs hockey on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
Welcome to the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Stalo people. The Stalo are people of the river. I'm so thankful for the courage and resiliency of our ancestors who lived on this land since time immemorial. Each of us have gifts from the Creator, and our Creator has a plan and purpose to be fulfilled in our territory. As we embrace our traditional teachings, we can lead the next generation into the fullness of what our Creator designed. Our shared history reveals a broken relationship, but as all Canadians commit to hear truth, acknowledge injustice, we can learn to walk in our traditional way, Letsamot, with a good heart and a good mind. Then all of our lives will be enriched. Kwasai.
The Quintessence Coalition brings you immersive experiences and conscious collaborations from artists across the country. Don't miss the sights, sounds, and spirits of the Quintessence Coalition. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
Hello, just want to remind you that Lions TV Bingo is on Mondays here on Rogers TV, starting at 8, running till 9.
And we're off like a herd of turtles. Holy sugar gold 29.
Same great show, lots of prizes given away, and lots of funny little trivia along the way. Please join us, 8 o'clock every Monday, right here on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. The Bulldogs facing adversity here in Game 7. Down 1-0 through 40 minutes. Norm will go back into the second period. They did everything in that period but score a goal.
Yeah, Bulldogs with some great pressure. And it really kind of started as that second period went along. Some good looks. Colts getting some good opportunities here early. Nice shot by Carter Lowe and on the follow-up there as well. And Leander's there to make the save. Protz driving the net and throwing this one out front, and that's sort of been the theme. And then Juracek with a great look. A couple times it's looked like the Bulldogs have maybe just need to get pucks direct on goal, and you can just see on that replay there how much the Colts are just clogging up that middle of the ice and making it tough to get anything through.
It just keeps on feeling like the Bulldogs need one to bounce their way. Maholtra there with a beautiful shot.
Yeah, there's a short-handed opportunity, and Dennis just couldn't corral that rebound. and this is a set play. O'Brien just bumps it ahead, and Luchenko's in, but the little diving swipe there of Van Richter, I think, did enough to take away the options of Jet Luchenko.
So the Bulldogs in that second period, as we'll take a look at our scoring summary, brought to you by Ladies Who Lead and West Brent Window World. It's a clean one in that second period. Nothing to speak of. Shots 15-10. I think they added one to make it 16-10 officially. But Norm, they've got to have their best period of the season if they want to keep this season alive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all on the line here for the Brantford Bulldogs in the third period. If they want an opportunity to advance to the league final, as you heard Caleb Maholcha tell our Laura Kitchen, they got to score in 2 shots. The math is simple at this stage. First, they need to kill off this minute 44 of the Luca Testa double minor, and if they can do that, then they're going to put themselves in an opportunity to tie this game and then build from there. I don't know, you get the feeling it's 4 periods now, just about, give or take, that they have not scored on Ben Harebek, so you have to wonder, the breakthrough, is it coming?
Well, and it feels like if the breakthrough comes, it may end up being the one that breaks the dam, but at the same time, is it ever going to come with the way the puck's bounced on them tonight?
Yeah, and it just seemed, you saw in a couple of those replays, particularly the chance there with Maholcha shorthand with Dennis, the puck just kind of bounces tantalizingly out of reach, and there's seemed to have been a lot of that in this, particularly in that second period for the Brantford Bulldogs, but all you can do is keep trying to execute and hope one goes your way.
So a minute 44 left to kill, Norm. That's project number 1. You got to get out of the shorthanded situation, and then it feels like it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to press forward, look for both teams to shorten the bench, and that's when you also start to wonder. We saw it a little bit in the overtime in Game 5. Fatigue starts to sink in. The head isn't quite communicating to the body what it wants to do, and that's when mistakes can happen.
That is when mistakes can happen. We'll send things back down to ice level as we get set for period 3 here. And that's the Barrie Colts bench. Dylan Smoskowitz has his team exactly where he would want to be through 40 minutes of play. Troy's downstairs in between the benches. Troy, there's got to be a bit of an uncomfortable atmosphere right now.
You can see both teams here now know that this third period is critical. They're both banging their sticks on the benches. They're into it now. Not like they were in the first 2 periods. This is for all the marbles here now.
Jet Luchenko and Ben Wilmot will lean in. Bulldogs going right to left across your speakers. And the Bulldogs a minute 44 to kill of the high-sticking double minor to Luca Testa. Van Richter will drift it back. He's got Ben Wilmot. Wilmot to Hemming. Hemming over the line, sweeping onto the left side. He'll pull up, exchanging with Van Richter. Van Richter takes, Sandu approaches. Shot came into the front, and the puck was in the glove of Ryerson Leaders. Then it was out. The Bulldogs cleared it, but a whistle was blown.
Yeah, not sure what happened there, but whistle blown, so it all comes to a halt. And we'll reset here to the right of Ryerson Leaders.
Puck one back to the line. Van Richter for Hemming. Sandu watching him tightly. Sent around back of the Brantford net. Wilmot cuts around to the left corner to Hemming at the top. Hemming walking on for a shot. Scores! Came off something in front of the net. And Emil Hemming has given the Colts a 2-0 lead with 19:22 to play.
Yeah, just the way that puck went in and the reaction of Ryerson Leaders. You wonder whether that did hit something, whether it was a Bulldog on the way through, but Hemming just wheels to the high slot and finds his opportunity. He's going to squeeze one through. Ryerson Leaders, you see 28, is going to end up with the puck. Wilmot, some good work down low to keep it, and then Hemming's just going to wheel out here and through a crowd. Whether that hit the stick of Ben Danford or a shin pad or something in front of the net, it's 2-0, and the incline on the comeback machine just got a little steeper.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are going to be looking for some heroics now. 19:22 to do it. Keishon Aitchison back into his own zone. Flashes it forward, it's going to run down the rink, and it's an icing on the Colts.
Yeah, Crombie touched that puck, but it was on his side of the red line. So that's what he's trying to explained to the official, he thought he touched it on the other side of the red line, but it was definitely in the defending zone.
Caleb Malhotra directing traffic here. The conversation is still going on. Crombie still appealing for the defense.
Caleb Malhotra will lean in opposite of Brad Gardner.
Yeah, that happened like 3 feet in front of me.
Puck rolling towards the front. Aitchison will collect it. Up for Crombie. Pivot there by Yedicek, rolling it over the line. Yedicek trying to get it loose. It'll be skipped back to the Brantford zone. Protz on top. Dennis couldn't put the fork in it. Hanser off the wall. Gardner will roll it up and out and flash it deep into the Brantford end.
And if you're the Bulldogs here, you need to tap into the mental and energy reserves here.
Rink wide, Charlie Paquette flashing through on the right side, sends it to the front. Save made by Hrebic. Wilmot will turn and has the exit to Crombie. Crombie puts the fork in it. On to Hemming, save, rebound, skipped on Wilmot. Puck to the line, doesn't come out. Hemming again, not able to locate it. They'll get it off the wall. Bulldogs flash it to the middle of the ice. Paquette forward, rolling it in, but the Bulldogs need to make a change.
Colts going to find themselves getting some looks like they just had a moment ago as the Bulldogs going to be pressing forward. Looking for one, get it started.
Puck gets chipped loose along the left wing wall. Ben Wilmot towards the front of the net. Merrick Van Acker will wheel forward. Van Acker on the left side, tried it middle. That got rejected back to neutral ice. Edison Engel.
Yeah, just a stick out on the lane there.
Engel to Banach on the right. Banach trying to create just inside the line. Wilmot will take the puck and roll it out. Aitchison arriving on the right side, blocked by Engel.
You can see the intent of that pass by Banach, Reed, but at this stage of the game, you just got to get the pucks. It's so cliche, but just get those pucks in deep in behind the defense, get them moving.
Yeah, they try to go and rink wide again, knocked down by Newton, who gets the long launch in with 17.5 to go. Well, if you're the Colts, you got exactly what you wanted, Troy, out of the early part of this period, getting that power play goal.
Yeah, but they got to be careful here. They just can't be too comfortable. This is a 2-0 lead. We've seen Bulldogs score bunches of goals in periods before, so got to ride this out if you're the Barrie Colts.
Puck scrambled to the wall. Engel tried it up the boards. He'll move it on to Gabriel Frasca. That'll get out of the zone. Emerton, D to D for Eliasson. And Eliasson sends it in deep. Danford back on to Testa. Testa to Engel. Forward for Luchenko. Luchenko into the zone. Eliasson's stick exploded. Luchenko will collect it down to the left wing corner. Testa gonna follow up. Big stack up in the corner. Looks like a rugby scrum. Carter Lowe is without a helmet. He's got to get to the bench. Engel to the line. Danford waits, fires. Came out the other side. Crombie onto the ice. Testa meets him. To the blue line. Danford had that puck bounce on him. Testa gets it back. Bulldogs will make the quick change.
And the quick change there. Eliasson without a stick. Lowe without a helmet. And the Colts able to escape that without even giving up a shot.
Get a check. Pauses. Tries to lose Salandra in deep. On to Paquette. Paquette rink wide. Wanted Protz. A little too heavy off the wall. Hanser sending it back to neutral ice. Protz looking to pick that loose. Paquette over top of it. Dennis on top of the puck. Dennis to his right for Malhotra. Malhotra cuts into the circle. Puck gets slung into the end wall. Hanser twists, has a look. Plays it middle, has Crombie. Crombie guides wide and sends it all the way down.
We're going to see a whole lot of that here in this third period, I think.
Yeah, Barrie with really good active sticks, particularly in their own zone. Bulldogs coming over the blue line and just sticks to pucks all the time. And he's not letting the Bulldogs get any offensive presence.
Rod starting up and out, pestered by Wilmot. Over the line to Adam Banach. Banach down the wall, runs into traffic there. Kept the puck alive, but it'll roll on to Hemming and out.
You see just a little bit of reaching at times for the Bulldogs. Got to continue to keep your feet moving, especially in the offensive zone. Take advantage of some of those loose pucks.
Adam Yedicek sliding along to Merrick Van Acker. Van Acker to the right side, Bannock tracking down, wanted to lay it out high to O'Brien, and O'Brien had moved middle. Quickly back in, O'Brien with Yudacek moving forward. O'Brien twirls into the wall, Sandu quickly into the pile. Deflected wide of the goal. Puck sent around the back, Newton will approach it to the line and out. Bouncing puck in neutral ice, Van Acker getting under Jaden Newton. Carter Lowe's the next layer though from the left circle, scores! Carter Lowe! Over top of Ryerson Leaders, it's 3-0 with 14:42 to go.
And is that going to be the dagger? Barrie has come out here, 2 goals in this third period. Bulldogs with just 1 shot so far. Newton wins the stick battle with Van Acker. Lowe steps in and just rips this over Ryerson Leaders. Lowe, who has a couple goals in this series, adds to that total. And this game is now 3-0 with 14:42 to go, and the Bulldogs need something, any kind of spark right now.
Yeah, what a shot. Just a quick release right over Leanders. He never even saw it. That was a next level shot there by Lowe.
They'll redo the drop at center ice.
Bodies everywhere, sticks flying.
And a conversation between Frasca and Salandra right at the faceoff circle. Danford on to Dravetsky. Back for Ben Danford, forward to Luca Testa. Shuttles it into the offensive end. Von Richter around the back of the net, freeing it on to Gardner. Gardner up and out, Testa bounces it back over the line.
And Barrie's gotten goals from Kayshawn Aitchison, Emil Hemming on the power play, and now Carter Lowe. Some of their big scorers come into play here tonight and putting the puck in when it matters.
Danford long out, wanted Frasca. Came off the glove of Von Richter and plays offside. Good try there by Danford on the long out. Would have had Frasca in behind the defense.
Yeah, 14:09 to go here, and the Bulldogs again still looking. Just that 1 shot on goal, Reed and Troy, and just having trouble getting anything going, and the Colts have just sucked the energy out of this building, and it seems a little bit out of the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, a couple things. Mission accomplished here, taking the fans out of this building, and now all the momentum is on their side. They're running downhill in this game, and the Bulldogs just have no answers.
Face off to Ryerson Leaders right. Eliasson tosses it around the back of the net. Protz continuing it along. Dennis over to it. To the blue, Newton sweeps it around the back.
Started with a penalty kill. Game was 1-0.
Yep.
And the Colts got themselves a big penalty kill off the Hanser penalty and counted on theirs here early in the third and have not looked back.
Edison Engel lays it down for Owen Protz. Up ahead, Charlie Paquette. They'll lay it around the back of the net. Eliasson on to Emerton. Protz trying to sweep that forward, and Ben Wilmot going the other way. Wilmot fires, glove by Leanders, and he will have to hang on with 13:26 to go, and will hit the break. The Colts with a 3-0 lead. The Bulldogs looking for something when we return on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join the fun and claim rewards.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Bulldogs looking for a spark here in the third period. Down 3. Carter Lowe and Emil Hemming here in the third period for the Barrie Colts have mounted this lead in Game 7. Eric Van Acker going to drive the puck up and out. Zabeski pulls it loose. Wilmot there. Twirled it to the front. Banach takes it. Jake O'Brien forward. Wanted Adam Banach. Got caught in between.
Numbers back right away for the Colts. Bulldogs got 3 going forward, and there's 3 waiting for him.
Sandu to the front. Nice stop there by Hrebeck. Puck chopped down the rink. Danford trying to beat out Aitchison, and it will be an icing.
Bulldogs going to get an offensive zone draw, and they just need a moment of magic from somebody. Whoever that's going to be to get themselves a little bit of life in this game. It's tough when you're at this point in the game. Game 7, home ice. Expectations so high, and you find yourself looking up the clock and realizing there could be 12:57 left in your season.
Caleb Maholter will lean in opposite of Ben Wilmot. Maholter draws it back to the blue. Yedacek off the left side. Zabeski down to the corner. Paquette wanted Maholter. That got tied up. Paquette over top of it. Trying to wheel it back towards the top. Wilmot. He'll take and toss it out past the line. Rod striding back. Turns from around back of his own goal. Tried to lay it on forward. Yedacek not able to put the fork in it. Hanser deals it ahead, and it's rolled back in again.
And how much energy Reed and Troy expended in that second period as well by the Bulldogs when they were all over the Colts, but just couldn't get one. And always easy to sit up here and say, like, oh, you just got to keep working. But that is often, my friends, easier said than done when you're going on 4+ periods without scoring to kind of get that positive energy back into your game.
Yeah, Ben Hrebeck just has so much confidence in his game right now.
Big goaltender, right, Troy? I mean, 6'3", 211.
Yep. Plays the angles well, moves really well for a big goalie, and it's his time, and he's taking advantage of it.
Oh, he'll be signing a contract. There's no doubt about that off this playoff run alone, let alone the rest of the body of work that's been incredible in his OHL career.
Yeah, 2006 born goaltender in his final year of junior eligibility, and he'll be playing summer next year.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's here, NCAA, or as you say, maybe next level.
Well, he went to camp with the Boston Bruins at the beginning of the year.
Of course he did.
Danford up over the line. They can't even get a spot for DiPietro right now, though. Van Acker.
Yeah, one of the better goalies come through the OHL over the years. DiPietro.
Danford leaving that out high on the right side. O'Brien lost it off his stick.
Kind of their night right there, isn't it?
Yep. Trevetsky back over the line, trying to cut in. Salandra, great pursuit, sending it back down the rink.
And even when they kind of, you're getting a little bit of guys just trying to figure it out right now.
Banach, he'll try it. Saved by Hrebeck as he just glues it to his body with 11:20 to play.
I mean, credit Banach, gets that puck, tries to attack the zone, gets something going. You're going to get yourself an offensive zone draw out of this, and you can get one. You get some energy back in your game, you get some energy back in the building, and you kind of crack that Ben Hrebeck wall.
It's been nearly impossible to crack it. Frasca leaning in against Schneid. Schneid able to get it to the end wall. Von Richter deals it high, deals it out. Carter Lowe trying to move up ahead of the play. Leanders will guide that away. Frasca neutral ice. Up to Yedacek, over the line on the right side, and that play just offside. It was just a little move to the right by Yedacek as he crossed.
Yeah, just threw the timing off of that a little bit, and Jet Luchenko just a little bit ahead of that opportunity. And a lot of folks still in this building with 11:05 to go. The Bulldogs' highest scoring team in the Ontario Hockey League during the regular season. They can put goals up. But we may look back at those back-to-back power plays, one for Brantford, one for Barrie, as the turning point in this game if the Bulldogs can't get something going.
Paquette dealing through neutral ice. guides his way over the line, off the left wing. Paquette will hold. Leaving on to Zach Sandu stepping in. Now to Cooper Dennis. Dennis to the front. Yedicek step down on the backhand. Across the face of goal. Back up to the left point. Caleb Maholtra trying to kick that along. Zabeski steps to him. Puck rolls out.
It's the longest offensive set the Bulldogs have had, perhaps, in this third period, Reed and Troy.
Sandu curls. Up for Maholtra. Von Richter just jams it out of his skates back down the rink.
Yeah, and you're up 3-0. You'll take the icing if you have to. You just don't want to give up, turn over the puck in your zone.
Yeah, Barrie's just walling everything up right at the blue line. And then backing it out. Yeah, they're just jamming everything up the middle.
Caleb Maholtra guides his way into the offensive zone. Aitchison just leaned out at the right moment. Salandra the other way. His drive wide of the net. Comes all the way around. Maholtra stabs it down. Maholtra wheeling in his own zone. Up into the offensive end. Puck kept alive by Protz. Protz off the wall. Wanted to step front. Emerton just kicked that puck aside. Crombie away. Pulls it through his skates. He'll tuck around the back of the net. Danford takes it back with 9:31 to play. Van Acker forward. Van Acker off the left side. Tosses it low. Jetluchenko lets it run. Danford out front. Just missed O'Brien's stick. Puck to the line. Protz into the pile. Guided away by Hrebeck. Puck jammed at by Newton, and that'll get up into the Barrie bench with 9:13 left.
And Hrebeck able to see that shot all the way through, and the seconds seeming to tumble by in double time here in chunks of 10, 20 seconds for the Brantford Bulldogs and their fans as we're into the back half of this third period.
Luchenko against Newton. From the right circle. And we got a penalty to Jaden Newton for concealing the puck on the draw.
And Bulldogs going to get the power play out here.
9:11 left to play in the third period. Newton, when he went down, put his hand over the puck on the faceoff and shuttled it back.
Well, this is your opportunity, right? Get one, and then see what happens from there. Bulldogs had a couple of looks on that power play in the second period, but just weren't able to generate anything consistently. And there you see on our replay, you can't, as the fans would say, you can't do that. So Van Richter and Aitchison out here, and why not? You kill this one off if you're Barrie, and you are well on your way. You'll be looking at 7:11 to go and a 3-goal lead. Dylan Smoskovitz not pleased with the call, we will say.
No, not in the slightest. Gardner and Lowe with Aitchison and Von Richter. Bulldogs will go Maholtra, Van Acker, Banach, O'Brien, and Yedicek. And if they ever needed one on the power play, they need it now.
Yeah, this is the biggest power play of the season right here for the Bulldogs.
Great draw in there from Gardner, but he can't get it clear. Banach settles it down to the top. Yedicek onto Banach, back to Yedicek from the top. He'll fire. Save made, rolled on to Gardner. He'll get it all the way out and down.
Again, Hrebeck able to see that all the way, and I know this has been the unit that's done it for you all year, but I wonder a big body like Charlie Paquette maybe in front of that net with some hands.
O'Brien
not here to second guess.
O'Brien down the wall, back to the blue line. Yedicek on the lob. Plays it off the wall in deep, bouncing puck. Aitchison was the first to find it.
And just like that, 40 seconds are off this power play.
Yedicek forward. The drop is back to O'Brien. Double barrel with Maholtra. Maholtra over the blue. Swept loose by Emil Hemming.
Tough ass to skate through 4 penalty killers who are just aligned so tightly, as Troy said earlier, just stacking up that blue line.
Yedicek to Banach. Banach goes wide right. Has Maholtra. They'll get the set. Maholtra to the top and Yedicek. Down low, Banach. Skipped on his stick. Aitchison trying to find it first. Nice play by Aitchison. He reversed it in traffic.
Better zone entry there for the Bulldogs, but just not able.
Leader steals it forward to Jake O'Brien. O'Brien to Yedicek. Tried the short angle. Now Banach from the back of the net to Yedicek in front, and Hrebeck's there again.
He's everywhere.
33 seconds left in the power play. Ben Hrebeck has been unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he's got a few of the Bulldogs. He's in their heads right now. Wondering how they get one by him, let alone 3.
Yeah, Hrebeck squared to the shooter, but he's down by the goal line, made that. So there's lots of room over top, and Juracek just couldn't elevate that puck.
Chet Luchenko joins this unit for the Bulldogs. They got 33 seconds left to work with.
Yeah, he's swapping from Eric Van Acker.
And the puck whistled all the way down the rink off the draw.
Colts can feel it now.
Leaders forward to O'Brien.
And just that moment of hesitation there a second ago.
Banach right back in on the right side. Banach across. O'Brien fires. Blocker saved by Hrebeck. That was huge. Second time he's got O'Brien on the night.
Yeah, it looked like O'Brien had that side of the net targeted to Hrebeck's right, but he just comes right across and shuts the door.
Luchenko with speed over the offensive blue line. Pulls up, feeds on. Dennis, he'll fire. Blocked. Rebound chance to the front. Just couldn't find a friendly stick.
Yeah, just nobody there in that spot.
Right back in, Luchenko. Leaving off to Dravetsky. Nice rotation. Dravetsky forehand. Shoulder saved by Hrebeck. Now they got to get back. Luchenko flying as Salandra steps in. Salandra bouncing puck. Guides away from the front of the goal.
Just hopped on Salandra, Reed and Troy at the last moment.
But it's 5-on-5 now, guys, and 6:36 to play.
And the Bulldogs still just looking for one. Math is going to start to not math for them.
Yeah, if you're the Bulldogs, time is not your friend right now.
Merrick Van Acker wide on the left. Tosses in front. Banach had it chipped away. Protzko's flying down. There's Banach again. To the top, O'Brien. Weaving high. His shot deflected over the top. O'Brien next to it. Salandra on top of him. Puck pressed to the wall. Emerton slides it over to Eliasson. Eliasson will pause and pitch it down the rink. Icing with 5:58. It'll be saved by the horn. 3-0 the score. The Bulldogs in miracle territory now. It's Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
Welcome you back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Guys, this Barrie team, what an unbelievable job they've done. They were down 3-1 in this series with their best player in the lineup. He goes out and
Moskowitz called the timeout.
And now, guys, they have rallied around the absence of Cole Baudouin. A 3-0 lead here in Game 7. Dylan Moskowitz has done a masterful job.
Yeah, two overtime wins as well in a Game 6 in which they trailed 3-1 on home ice.
Yeah, this is a full team meeting right here now to my right.
And Jay McKee not happy.
Well, Jay McKee was right. You cannot take a timeout on the commercial break. And the officials let Barrie take it, and now Jay McKee is giving it to Damian Figueira.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I know folks watching at home will sometimes feel that we or others here complain about the officials, but procedurally, you should know what the rules are.
Yep.
Yeah,
I get you miss a call, I get you call a high stick, you call or whatever, you miss a call, but you should know the rules, like in this situation.
That's a delay of game penalty.
Yeah, the TV timeout is like a timeout, and you can't call another one right after it.
No, that's actually a delay of game penalty to do it.
Ryerson Leanders is out, by the way. And look, I get Jay McKee being upset. And now the Colts taking time to make the change. They got to get the guys back out. And I get it. If I were them, I'd do the same thing. Dylan Smoskowicz, rookie coach, using every tool at his disposal. If the referees aren't going to call the rule, they should.
Jed Luchenko up against Jaden Newton. Puck to the end wall. Eliasson bouncing down the rink. Crombie's going to beat out the icing. Jedicek takes him to the end wall. Jake O'Brien will collect it. O'Brien over the line. Tried to slide that in deep. Aitchison will collect it. Around the wall, that's going to be an icing with 5:32 left to play.
And now he could have called a timeout if he wanted.
Yeah, now you can call a timeout freely. Bulldogs will decide on which side they want that drop. Yeah, Game 7 of the Eastern Final, you can't make that mistake.
Yeah, and Bulldogs going to line up. Luchenko's going to lean in for this draw on his favorite side.
Off to face off, Luchenko to Banach. Banach down the right wing half wall. Low to Malhotra. Back to Banach. Banach with a look high. Jedicek back onto him. Banach into the pile. Double deflection. Rolled out to the slot. Won't get out. Jedicek for Banach. Back to Jedicek. Into the pile again. Saved by Hrebeck. Poke to the blue line. Jedicek slides it on. O'Brien bounces it low. Van Acker for Luchenko. Tipped it just wide of the net. Banach finds it, wants to roll it back to the right point. Jedicek has to take it neutral ice.
Yeah, and just with the single defenseman back there on the point, it's just, that pass is just tough to make.
Puck down the rink on the roll into the empty net, and that is going to do it. 4:50 left to play in Game 7. The Colts hit the empty net, and they will be the ones to make the trip to the Memorial Auditorium at Kitchener as Parker Van Richter hits the empty goal for his second of the postseason.
Van Richter with the assists on the first and second goal of the game, and he caps it off with an empty netter at 4:50. That's going to put the exclamation point on a pretty good night for Parker Van Richter and the Barrie Colts, who last played in an OHL final, I believe it was 2012, 2013.
When they beat the Belleville Bulls, the precursor to the Brantford Bulldogs in a Game 7 scenario. History repeating itself.
And as you were saying a moment ago, Reed, you really do have to credit the Colts, who have just been fantastic from Game 5 on. Down 3-1, coming in and beating the best team in the league on home ice twice, 3 times in the series. Road teams are going to go 5-2 in this series, barring a miracle, which is something on its own. Bulldogs were up 3-1 after 2 decisive wins. Colts could have packed it in after losing Game 4, 6-1.
Dennis's drive, clatters off the end wall. Dennis is going to get it back to the slot. Pulls up, waits, feeds to the top for Drevetsky. Drevetsky on to Dennis again off the glove of Hrebeck. He got a piece of that.
And up 4-0, Reed and Troy. They're still stacked in the middle of the ice and just taking that lane away, shooting lane away for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're playing for Ben Hrebeck right now.
Well, as they should be. He was brilliant in Game 6. Absolutely brilliant, stopping more than 50 shots. And this puck's going to carry him off an official to the front. Gardner saved by Leenders. He'll dump it out to Caleb Malhotra. Gardner sticks it away from Malhotra. Crombie off the left for a drive, blocked by Jedicek. Bouncing puck is Van Acker. Caleb Malhotra to the front of the net, held on to by Hrebeck. 3:28 to play. Leenders going back to the Bulldogs bench, because why not?
Yeah, at this point, you need something, and if it's 4-0, 5-0, whatever the case may be, Colts can ice the puck without really worrying. Merrick Van Acker frustrated, but the Colts have done just a really good job on him. Just the 2 power play goals in the series, and just in his face, making life difficult for him. And that's what you need to do to upset a talented goal scorer like Merrick Van Acker and take him off his game.
Yeah, what a story this Barrie Colts team has been. Down 3-1 in this series. On paper, nobody gave them any credit at all. come back here and they're going to take Game 7 and will play in the OHL Championship. Good for them.
Nobody gave them a chance coming into this season to be here. And like we
which
talked
is kind
about,
of funny when you think about it. I mean, they come back with Cole Baudouin, Keishon Aitchison. They got Brad Gardner in. They've got, they got off to a tough start, 3-7-0-3. But Marty Williamson looked around, saw that Central Division, and here we go. Hemming.
Yeah. Hemming on the bounce to the empty net. That will officially finish this one out with 3:18 to go.
And Keishon Aitchison giving Merrick Van Acker a shot after the empty net goal went in with a slash, and seems a wee bit unnecessary.
It does.
I'm all for a guy playing hard, but anyways, as I once said, lose with class, win with class.
Yep. This Barrie Colts team is going to give the Kitchener Rangers a lot of problems in the OHL final, even without a Cole Baudouin.
The heaviest team in the league. They're a big team, an older team, and
it's tough to get leaned on for 7 games, and when you got Ben Hrebeck, who will enter that series with a near 30-point advantage in save percentage over Christian Kirch.
Yeah, and you come in and you've just, over the balance of about 5 periods of play, shut out the highest scoring team in the Ontario Hockey League. That's a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah, it's going to be close to 90 saves for Hrebeck over games 5 and 6, or 6 and 7.
Yeah, and you have your, Bulldogs certainly had their chances in 5 and 6. You look back and wonder what might have been. Cooper Dennis with a couple of looks, including one in overtime in that Game 5. Merrick Van Acker with a great look with just 4 or 5 minutes to go in Game 6.
Back for the puck was Sandu. He'll roll it into the offensive zone.
Bulldog fans will look back at a couple of those goals that were disallowed in Game 6 as well, including what appeared to be
the series
winner.
winner.
A series winner by Gabriel Frasca.
Bolden frees up the puck. Desherna tried it backside for Trevetsky sneaking down. Trevetsky will pull. Play is on to McCormick. 2:25 to go.
And for a number of players on the Bulldogs, this will be their last game in the Ontario Hockey League, and we'll have some time to chat about that post-game, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Bulldogs will be a very different-looking roster next year. Caleb Maholtron, will he be at the center of it? It all depends on what happens with him in the NHL draft. Long play around the end wall.
Player many are, a lot are looking at him as being a top 3, top 5 pick.
Boston University looms, but so does a entry-level contract in the National Hockey League. Vladimir Trevetsky. Down to Charlie Paquette. Up top, Owen Protz. Shot clatters off the end boards. Carter Lowe will hold it up on the end wall. 1:41 left to go in the third period.
And if I think of somebody who maybe epitomizes this Colts team, it might be Carter Lowe, who put that dagger 3-0 goal in, scored in Game 1 as well. He's got 3 goals in this series. Just a big body, hardworking player, goes to the right areas, and just super responsible. You look at Jaden Newton just heading off. He steps in, 3 goals in 2 games, in Games 5 and 6 after Cole Baudouin goes out of the lineup, just slots into a regular role at center.
Puck sent all the way around and down. Protz first man back.
Yeah, and in this era of the OHL, Troy, I mean, you've got, you look and you think, oh, this guy is a 2007. He'll be back next year, or 2006. Maybe he's an overager.
You
but
don't know.
You just don't know with guys having an opportunity to go to the NCAA or wherever
it
might be.
It's so hard to predict rosters because there's so many more options now available.
Frasca on to Testa. Puck played around the back of the net.
Bulldogs do have a number of free agents signed, some of whom we saw this year, like Joey Banis.
Yes, Joey Banis will be in next year. Joey Sinclair, who we did not get a chance to look at, was tremendous in the BCHL. Puck just came off the helmet of Evan Passmore.
He's been so good for them this series just as well. Like
Tower of power.
Yeah, Colts from top to bottom have just been really good.
Testa with Frasca going middle. Eamon Edgar follows him. Trevetsky down the wall. Tesherna held up along the boards. Desiderio will take it back, under a minute to go in what has been an amazing season for the Brantford Bulldogs. It'll come to a close shorter than they want, but guys, so much accomplished.
Yeah, it's been a sorry, I thought you were going to go a little longer there. It's been a fun season.
I'll do that on the next one.
Without a doubt, and we've got to see some tremendous hockey over the course of the season here at TD Civic Center.
So as always, a huge thanks to the Hyman family, Spencer Hyman, Justin Ishmael, for allowing me to live out a dream job up here. To you guys, Troy, Norm, Laura downstairs, it is always so much fun to come to the rink with you guys.
Yeah, producer Taylor and our crew.
That has done an amazing job for us all season long. We thank them greatly. As the Barrie Colts will celebrate, they will take the Bobby Orr Trophy back to Barrie and challenge the Kitchener Rangers for the Robertson Cup. And this is one, Norm, that is going to sting for the Brantford Bulldogs, and you got to believe it will be a motivating factor as this franchise moves forward in Brantford.
Yeah, a team that its first 3 seasons here in Brantford has made the playoffs, has been first round, second round, third round now. First appearance in the conference finals as the Brantford Bulldogs. We thought the symmetry of every 4 years, guys, was going to come in. 2018 championship, 2022 championship, but as Jay McKee said after game 2, it's not supposed to be easy, and the Barrie Colts did not make it easy from that point forward. Who'd have thought the Brantford Bulldogs, who never lost 3 games in a year or all season, would drop 3 here to end their season?
Well earned for the Barrie Colts. An incredible job done over the last 3 games of this series, rallying around their injured co-captain. What a job they did. Ben Horebic specifically ends up almost 90 saves between games 6 and 7. And guys, you know, speaking as a fan of the Boston Bruins, I saw it in 2011 when Tim Thomas went to a different level on that run. They beat a more talented Tampa Bay Lightning team. They beat a more talented Vancouver Canucks team, largely because Tim Thomas put together what was a .938 save percentage. Horebic's number may not come out of this series that high, but he'll be approaching the .930 mark as he was .919 coming into the game.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs over the course of this outshoot the Colts tonight 40-30, which is pretty much the way it played out over the series. You know, Bulldogs coming in tonight, it outshot the Colts 39-28, so that form chart pretty much holds. So on average, Ben Horebic faced 39, 40 shots, and the Colts come out top in this series 4-3. 3 stars.
And Ben Horebic being named the #1 star, no doubt about it. He was incredible.
Yeah, Zach Sandu named a star as well as
Charlie Paquette, the Bulldogs honoring their overagers.
Yeah, he and Charlie Paquette. This will be it for sure for them.
Yep.
As their eligibility comes to a close, we will see with some of the other 2006 born players like Ryder Bolton, Jet Luchenko, Marek Van Acker, Gabriel Frasca, Luca Testa, Adam Yudacek, Owen Protz, and Ben Danford, as well as both Bulldogs goaltenders, Ryerson Leanders and David Egeroff. And Aitchison O'Brien, great respect there for the 2 of them.
The captains lead it at center ice, and it's the most beautiful tradition in hockey. 2 teams that went to war for 7 games will embrace through the center circle.
Yeah, probably called each other every name in the book and did everything they could. Well, maybe not quite that, but did everything they could to throw the opposition off. But then, as you say, Reed, they come together here. Handshakes and hugs to finish a really intense 7-game series.
Yeah, when you think about it, guys, this kind of plays out like a bit of a movie script here. You know, they were down 3-1, they lose their best player, and then it was next man up. And Ben Horebic played out of his mind. Defense, just everything around them just walled right up, and the Bulldogs just couldn't get anything past them. The Bulldogs, the team that coming into this, everyone expected to be in the final. Everyone expected that they were going to be the OHL champions, and not the Barrie Colts, though. They had another plan.
Yeah, Jake O'Brien leading that handshake line, and he was so good for the Bulldogs. He and Caleb Malhotra and Adam Yudacek. Malhotra 13 points, O'Brien 8, Yudacek 8 to lead the Bulldogs O'Brien just took the intensity and the work ethic, I thought, to a different level in the playoffs and squeezed everything out of his game. And I know for Bulldog fans, this will be a tremendous disappointment, not how anybody drew it up at the start of the postseason. But sometimes we play the games for a reason, and sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want. We let this game get decided on the ice.
Absolutely. It's the most beautiful game in the world for a reason. And tonight we saw a team of the Barrie Colts work their tails off to pick up this series in 7 games. Just saw Ben Hrebeck getting a handshake from video coach Owen Burnell. And they earned it.
Yeah, Bulldogs full staff lined up in behind, those players who were scratches as well, both teams. Barrie Colts are going to get a chance here to celebrate and then get themselves ready for the Kitchener Rangers.
Yeah, that series will start Wednesday night in Kitchener. Brantford fans giving the Bulldogs a rousing ovation. These are the things that happen. No matter what, you can't win every time, and the Bulldogs went after it with vigor this season. They wanted it. They secured their first place seed in the OHL, but it just wasn't their turn.
Long conversation. I believe that was Spencer Hyman and Calvin Crombie. Crombie, former Bulldog, traded prior to this season. He's been great in Barrie for them and just stepped in and filled a role for them.
Yeah, Calvin Crombie talking to Owen Burnell on the end as well.
And that's come out. And the Bulldogs waiting for the handshake line to finish. Marty Williamson, great job with these Colts.
Yeah, we talked about it. Marty Williamson looked at it and said, that train ain't running so fast that I can't catch it. And he made a couple of really smart moves. Ben Wilmot comes in. Parker Von Richter comes in, who was huge in this series. And Mason Zabeski, who had the overtime winner in Game 6, comes in, along with Calvin Crombie early in the year.
Well, and let's not forget,
guys,
a guy named Emil Hemming. Sorry, Troy came back and played in the last 46 games of the season for them, and you wonder if that was a tipping point for them. Go ahead, Troy.
Guys, I'm down here with Ben Hrebeck. Ben, talk to me about this team and what this win means to you.
This win means a lot, the whole comeback. I mean, there's no quit in this team. There's no doubt. We'll just keep pushing forward.
And what was the word in the dressing room, after Cole Baldwin goes down, you guys are down 3-1. Just doesn't seem to be any quit in this team whatsoever.
We just do it for him, man. He's the hardest work I've ever met, so we just do it for him, man, and just never quit.
And yourself, you seem to be just within yourself during this series. Really tough to beat. What can you attribute your play, which was absolutely phenomenal?
Just like I say every time, give my team a chance to win. I mean, they've been rock solid all year. I love them, so let's just keep rolling here.
Thanks very much, Ben. I'll let you get back to your guys, and congratulations, and good luck in the next series. Guys?
Thanks so much, Troy. Ben Hrebeck, massive. And the Bulldogs will await the presentation of the Bobby Orr Trophy out at center ice. The Barrie Colts, are they going to touch Bobby? Doesn't look like it.
No, they're keeping their distance. Keishon Aitchison, best defenseman this year in the Ontario Hockey League, is going to not touch the Bobby Orr Trophy, just in case.
35 minutes a night, pretty well for Keishon Aitchison in the Eastern Conference Final. And it pays off at the end.
And you can't see it in your screen, folks, but the Bulldogs just off to our right, watching this trophy presentation, some stick taps, and waiting also to say thank you to their fans that are remaining here at TD Civic Center.
And that's what they do. Jake O'Brien, you hear the roar around you. Vladimir Trevetsky, Jake O'Brien, Merrick Van Acker, Caleb Malhotra, Parker Holmes lifting the sticks to the crowd. A bitterly disappointed bunch.
Nobody's going to touch it, but it makes a fine centerpiece on that table for the Barrie Colts.
Does it ever. Congratulations to the Barrie Colts. And that man right there, you just saw Ben Hrebeck. Will Ben Hrebeck steal them the Robertson Cup as well? there's no reason to believe, Norm, he can't do it.
Yeah, it was phenomenal in this series. And I mean, you kind of, any series, you look, if you have the better goaltender, more often than not, you're going to win, but you're also going to look to your goaltender to steal you one or two if you want to make a run. And certainly, Game 6, 50-plus shots for the Brantford Bulldogs. And the Colts come out with a 4-3 overtime win in that game.
We'll go downstairs. Laura's going to catch up with Ben Hrebeck as well. Laura's a popular guy down there.
He's very popular, Reed. Hell of a game, great game. You were down 3-1 in the series, and now you guys came back and won it in 7. How are we feeling right now?
That's an awesome feeling, man. Just no quitting this team. Tightest group I've ever been with. I love these guys.
You played exceptionally. How do you keep in that mindset for the whole entire series?
I appreciate it. Just give my team a chance to win every single game. That's my motto, so just keep that rolling and we'll be good.
You're not done yet. You got another series in the finals. How do you prepare for that and going into on Wednesday?
I mean, just be happy in the room. New day tomorrow. Just keep working. We got a whole new series here, so.
Well, good luck in the next series.
Thank you.
Back to you, Reed.
Thanks so much, Laura. Yeah, Ben Hrebeck, he deserved a pair of interviews the way he played in this series.
Yeah, we weren't even get to talk to goalies, so a chance to talk to him twice is never a bad thing. I think Troy's standing by with someone.
All right, downstairs we go. Troy, you got Calvin Crombie. Tell him we said hi from up here.
Calvin, congratulations, and the guys from upstairs say hi. And what does it feel like? You were in that dressing room at one time, former Bulldog. You gotta wonder how they're feeling, but you know it must just be amazing for you.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I understand how they're feeling, right? You know, I was there last year. We had a great team last year. You know, we ended up losing the second round, which I thought, you know, we could have been a team that could have been in the finals for sure. You know, I understand how they're feeling. I mean, obviously being a part of Barrie and being here, I mean, you know, I love it. I love every second of it here. The culture we have here, you know, the coaching from Smoss to Denny to Sexy to the ownership, you know, and the fans, you know, I can't complain. I love my time in Barrie. I love everything about Barrie, and I love these guys.
Let's talk about the Barrie fans. You can see over just to your left there. They are a pretty awesome group. They travel well, and really proud of you guys. But talk to me about you guys being in this series down 3-1, losing your captain, and then how did you guys get together and decide that, hey, we need to do something here?
Yeah, I mean, I felt the first two games we came into Brantford, I mean, we were good. You know, game 3 and 4, I mean, you know, obviously a little bit, you know, game 3 was okay, and then game 4 was okay. You know, the game 2 was great, but I mean, you know, obviously losing Kobo, he's a huge piece to our puzzle. You know, at the end of the day, we're a pack. We're mutants. You know, we all went over to Kobo's house. You know, and he told us, he said, boys, just because I'm out doesn't mean you boys can't do it. And you know, and he was their best leader that night. You know, he told us all that, you know, we could all do it, and we did it. You know, we have a pact here. You know, we built such a good bond. You know, we're always hanging out with each other and always supporting each other. And you know, falling down an injury or falling down a man, you know, it's the next man up mentality, and we showed that.
And when I think of the Barrie Colts in this series, I think of the sacrifice in front of Ben Hrebeck, like 5 guys standing in front of him, blocking shots, taking the pain. You know, it's got to feel good now that all that was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, every guy in this team, you know, every guy in this team will do anything and anything for this team. You know, there's not one guy that I could look up and down this lineup that wouldn't do anything and anything. And you know, you got to give Ben Hrebeck credit. You know, he shut out tonight. Last night he had 57 saves. You know, he was huge piece of this puzzle. You know, but everyone on our team is willing to do anything for that championship.
Well, I'll let you get back to the guys. You have a huge series that starts on Wednesday. Once again, congratulations and good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Calvin.
Calvin Crombie was a favorite here, Norm, and it was actually Troy who a year ago nicknamed his line with Noah Nelson and Dylan Tashurna the TNC line that caused so much chaos for the Bulldogs in that playoff run. Calvin Crombie will get a chance to play for an OHL championship beginning on Wednesday night when the Rangers will have to host that group of mutants, as Calvin Crombie just put it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, it seemed like Troy talked every game to TNC, and now he's left just with C in Calvin Crombie. But yeah, I got the cheater here for the final schedule. It'll open Wednesday night in Kitchener, Wednesday and Friday in Kitchener, and then Barrie, I'm sure, will be stoked for Game 3 on Sunday at 6 p.m. and then Game 4 Tuesday at 7 p.m. And after that, we shall see everything as necessary Thursday, Saturday, Monday, with the schedule scheduled to wrap up on Victoria Day, Monday, May 18th. So we will see what's ahead, but certainly we've already discussed it, but Barrie Colts, full measure for what they did
100%.
here over the course of this series. Not easy to come in and beat a team. You look at who Brantford rolls out on that first shift, 4 NHL first-round picks. Merrick Van Acker, Jake O'Brien, Jet Luchenko, and Ben Danford on defense with a pretty good guy beside him, and Zach Sandu, who's got so much experience in this league and has been so good and gone to back-to-back OHL finals with the Oshawa Generals. And, the Colts just matched them and, played a hard, heavy game over the course of this season and got some terrific goaltending from Ben Horebic.
And Troy, it was in those moments where it stood up. Ben Horebic, when he had to be at the very best, he was brilliant. Game 6 and 7 specifically, just a tremendous performance from the Colts netminder.
Yeah, I do think, the tower of power that they had around him, they were able to keep that front of the net clear so that he could see pucks. And, there wasn't a whole lot that the Bulldogs could do to get inside and try and take his eyes away. And I think now from, game 4 on, that would be the story. It's just the inability for the Bulldogs to get inside of Ben Horebic and get some good shots on him.
Yeah, they just protected the middle ice, to your point, Troy, so well. And we pointed out a few times, and I know at times the fans here were pushing for more shots, particularly when the puck went back to the point in sort of the center and that high ice in the center of the offensive zone. But there was no room. There was like 5 white sweaters stacked up in the middle of the ice with a wall behind them and Ben Horebic. And, it's tough to get shots through that kind of traffic. And the Colts were quite content to let the Bulldogs play around the outside. And they just were not going to give them an opportunity to get inside. And I think the Bulldogs, we talked to Jay McKee before the game, and he said, what we have to do is try to take his eyes away. And they certainly did a good job of that, but they just, particularly in the first and second period, but just could not find a way through. And the Colts came out early in that third, and, that power play goal by Emil Hemming is probably our TSN turning point. They're coming in for the final.
They are, they'll be in Barrie and in Kitchener for the final. You wonder, too, Marty Williamson, the way he constructed this team, is there a blueprint here that can be followed in a number of different markets throughout the Ontario Hockey League? Because in an age where you get a guy who has 100 points, is he coming back? Is he going to the NCAA? Is he going pro? You don't know. You get that top group of skilled players. So your Beaudoin, your Hemming. I know Beaudoin didn't play the last couple, but Hemming, Sebeski up front. But big physical players that can fill the back of the net. Joe Solander's got a heck of a career ahead of him in the OHL. You look at Carter Lowe, scored some timely goals. We'll see if that becomes a bit of a blueprint for building teams moving forward as we go downstairs for the press conferences beginning in room 8.
Welcome to postgame coverage of Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series. The Barrie Colts win the Bobby Orr Trophy as 2026 Eastern Conference champions by a score of 5-0. Joined by head coach Dylan Smoskowicz, along with captain Kayshawn Aitchison. Coach, words probably escape you after that one. Maybe you can try your best.
No one cares, work harder.
Kayshawn, big moment for you, a goal tonight. Hostile environment. What can you say about the way your goaltender played in that one?
No one cares, work harder.
Questions?
Can you just contrast what you must have been feeling 6 days ago, leaving the arena, losing 6-1, and what you're feeling now?
Yeah, it's a good question. No one cares, work harder.
Ben Horebic, or shutout, what he did in game 6, game 5, it goes on and on.
Really good. No one cares, work harder.
Cash, what did it mean for you and Colo to share that moment of the trophy?
No, no one cares, work harder.
Cash, just down 3-1 this team, all year, I kept hearing about you guys never out of it, and just to come back like that and show the resilience.
Yeah, no one cares, work harder.
That'll conclude the Barrie Colts portion of tonight's postgame. We'll be right back with the Brantford Bulldogs.
I'm not really sure what to say about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, message is clear. No
Yeah.
one cares. Work harder. And so, again, I think we're just going to pick up kind of where you were talking about just before we went to the Barrie Colts press conference, when you kind of look back over, talking about this new era where you've got players that are going to, potentially be 1 or 2 and done. The opportunity to go to the NCAA, and talk of the NHL rules changing as well, where first-round picks could potentially be eligible to play in the American Hockey League as 19-year-olds. And Troy, I was just saying to Reed while we were waiting to come back here, it kind of reminds me a little bit of where NCAA basketball has gone, oddly enough, where you see, the big teams like Duke and North Carolina and others who build these teams around all these super freshmen in Kentucky, where they're there for 1 or 2 years. And then meanwhile, you got somebody like Butler, not as much anymore, but they're kind of rolling up with their 5 seniors who have been there for 4 years and have played together forever. And that's maybe kind of the model going forward. I think you're going to need a little bit of a blend. You're going to need some players like a Carter Lowe, like an Evan Passmore, those types of people, Ben Horebic, who come up here and join your program and stick around for 3 or 4 years, and they're your foundation, and then you maybe kind of augment a little bit.
Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, you're exactly right, Norm. And when you think about the playoffs, you think about time and space and how you get very little of it. And it's the big bodies that kind of come through. The Bulldogs definitely were a faster team, and the Barrie Colts were able to skate with them. Not skate past them, but skate with them, and that's all they needed to do. And those big bodies up in front did the job around their goalie, and then in the offensive zone too, and I'm specifically thinking about Carter Lowe down low, the work that he did. And, that's the key. Some experience, big bodies win hockey games, win playoff hockey games.
You can't hit what you can't catch, but if you can catch it, you can hit it. And that's where we saw the Barrie Colts have success physically in the games when they've really taken advantage, Norm, is that the Bulldogs trying to maneuver the puck and get away and get into open space. Colts just didn't allow them to have the open space.
Yeah, and yet at the same time stayed extremely disciplined in their own zone and really just kind of shut down those shooting lanes for the Brantford Bulldogs. And Dylan Smoskowitz said something interesting after the first game in which the Bulldogs scored a couple power play goals. He says, the more repetitions we get against their power play, the better we get. And they killed off 4 of 4 man advantage against the Bulldogs in the deciding games of this series in Game 6 and Game 7. So full credit to them. And I think that that's the interesting thing over a 7-game series. Can you beat the guy in front of you on a consistent basis? And I think that's something that the Colts were able to do over the course of this 7-game series. And, I think there'll be a lot of Bulldog fans who will be kind of, and those around the league who will be putting labels on this team. And I think they really just got beat by a team that executed their game plan really well. I thought, the Bulldogs 50-plus shots in Game 6. They outshot the Colts over the course of the series in every game.
Another 40 here tonight.
40 tonight. And this happens sometimes in hockey. Sometimes you can have all the talent in the world, and it just doesn't go your way.
Well, guys, just last night we saw Jakob Dolmish stand on his head for the Montreal Canadiens, who had 9 shots in a hockey game and eliminated the Tampa Bay Lightning in a 2-1 game. These things happen.
Yeah, guys, and, not to go back to that press conference we just saw here, though, but I get it. Barrie's doing the us against the world thing, and that's worked for them, and then that's great. But there's some respect for the league, some respect for the opposition, and respect for the game. And I was really surprised with that. That was a bit of a black mark in this game.
Yeah, like I said, coming back, that was not something that I thought was needed at this point. But that's where we are. The Barrie Colts will go on to face the Kitchener Rangers. And as we talked about earlier on, guys, Ben Horebic will enter that series with around a 30-point advantage in save percentage against Christian Kirch. The difficulty for the Colts now will be that big back end for the Rangers with Andonovski, Woolley, and McNeil specifically. Can they find any inside ice to get to Kirch away from those guys and a Kitchener Rangers offense that plays in swarms?
Yeah, and I think you look at somebody like Sam O'Reilly, who's been fantastic since he came over to the Kitchener Rangers, and he comes in with, consecutive championship appearances with the London Knights, and he brings that experience into that dressing room as well. And he's just been phenomenal throughout the season, and it's just kept up in Kitchener in the game that he's been playing Troy.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting series, and like I say, the Barrie Colts, are they the team of destiny? Maybe, right? And they would be certainly a better team with Cole Baldwin in the lineup, but hey, they're found ways to get it done, so nothing would surprise me at this point.
Well, it certainly sounded like Cole Baldwin took that job as a captain seriously, rallying the troops after he goes down with injury and gets them to rally around him to take this series. That's big from a captain. That's the kind of thing you need to see in those moments. Cole Baldwin does it. There's no question he's going to be a great player for the Utah Mammoth moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at those Game 5 and Game 6 where the Colts are that close, one shot away from their season being over, right? And they win both overtime games, which is not easy to do. I mean, the math just doesn't always work out, but they were able to get it done, and they rallied around. Just tremendous effort by them over the course of this series and found a way to beat the Brantford Bulldogs.
We're just awaiting the press conference for the Bulldogs downstairs. I understand there was something downstairs going on, so we're just awaiting the Bulldogs to get into position. Don't know if technical there's things. So Troy,
we can fill.
Yeah, Troy, as you look back at this downstairs, you said early on in the season that the size of the Colts was presenting a problem for the Bulldogs. It didn't seem to as they got up to a 3-1 lead, especially those 2 wins in Barrie, but you saw it creep back in later on in this series.
Yeah, and I think the size wore the Bulldogs down, and I wouldn't say the Bulldogs were intimidated, but speed can only get you so far, and then you're playing a perimeter game. So I think that's what happened in this series. Bulldogs playing a bit of a perimeter game, maybe squeezing the sticks too tight. There was some opportunities last game that unfortunately didn't go their way. They could have won the series the other night in Barrie, but what can you do? That's hockey, right? Like momentum is a big thing.
Yeah, and I think in any playoff run, there's going to be a combination of hard work and luck and talent as well. And I think sometimes we discount luck and good fortune in this game. And, I go back to 2018 when the Bulldogs played the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, who were wire to wire the number 1 team, and then the Greyhounds ran into a little bit of injury problems when they got to the final, right? And the Bulldogs, able to beat them still in 6 games, earned that victory. But sometimes you have some things go in your favor. And also prior to that series, the Bulldogs won 3 series in 5 games. And the Greyhounds and the Kitchener Rangers went 7 games, double overtime. And then, that kind of put the Greyhounds in a tough position going into that final. So there is sometimes some good luck. There is sometimes some things that go your way. Gabriel Frasca scored what the Bulldogs thought was the series-winning goal in Game 6.
Like it.
It gets reviewed. It gets called off. And we play on. We're not even here tonight doing this game if that goal gets reviewed and counts. So sometimes some things also going your way. It's not always about nobody cares, work harder. Sometimes you get some good breaks along the way.
Yeah, and that certainly happened in Game 6, a play that there is still images of the puck across the goal line, the Jake O'Brien play out front of the net, and reviewed and waved off. So the Colts got a couple of breaks as time went along, but certainly earned it here tonight and through Ben Horebic with great performances.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's certainly not to take anything away from them. I don't want any folks watching in Barrie and elsewhere to think that we are taking anything away from them or say that they got lucky. They earned this 7-game series win, Troy?
Yeah, Jay McKee and Jake O'Brien just coming across from me now here. They're going over for the conference, so we got a little bit of time still.
There's positivity ahead for the Brantford Bulldogs, and I know that from being around here every day. And I know that there were people that kind of gloom and doom about if this team doesn't win and what will it look like next year. I can tell you guys this, in an era of free agency, things have changed. And draft picks going out the door does not necessarily make a poor team. There will be things to be excited about in the coming weeks from this team. It's just not able to be shared yet.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of assumptions being made. I think, we spend 5 minutes on OHL social media. There's speculation about a certain player ending from Brantford, ending up in Guelph next year, and I know lots of people are taking that as if it's happening. Some people are having some fun with it. we don't know where Caleb Malhotra is going to be next year.
He could be in the National Hockey League.
It could be in the National Hockey League, could be in Boston University, could be here in Brantford. So lots to be determined, and I think the Bulldogs, we will find out in the coming weeks, like every team around the Ontario Hockey League. Troy, you touched on a little bit as well. Who's here? Who isn't? Go ahead.
Downstairs, speaking of who's here, Jay McKee and Jake O'Brien are here, down to room 8.
Back with more post-game coverage of Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series, joined by Brantford Bulldogs head coach Jay McKee, along with captain Jake O'Brien. Coach, maybe I'll just give you the mic and let you share your thoughts after that one.
Well, it's probably the first time I've been incredibly proud and incredibly disappointed at the same time. I mean, you look at the effort that our guys, Jake and our players, put out there the last couple games. They threw the kitchen sink at it. Had an amazing season, bonded as a team, became a family, and they're a group that loves each other. And obviously a very, very talented group. So, you know, the potential for this team was extremely high. But really, really proud of the effort that these guys put forth. We obviously ran into a bit of a brick wall. Their goalie was spectacular in the last couple of games. But I felt our guys, every shift, gave everything they had, and we came up short. So incredibly proud, obviously incredibly disappointed with the result.
Jake, tough to find the words right now. You've done a lot with this franchise. Maybe you can just share, you know, what you're feeling right now, and maybe just your reflection on the series.
Yeah, it obviously sucks. Being up 3-1 and losing Game 7. This is the closest group I've been a part of. We bonded. I love those boys in there, and it really sucks. It's going to sting for probably our whole lives. So it really sucks, but we got to move on now.
Questions, gentlemen?
Jay, the group you guys built here, spoke about it throughout the season, road trips, you didn't have to police the guys, the culture that you guys had in place this season, all the talent. What does it speak about the foundation here, the Hyman family's built, Mike Manlauer before, that the group that you have and that dog mentality, how important is that for you guys here in the culture throughout the season?
Well, I've said it before. I'm incredibly grateful to have had an opportunity to coach these incredible young men, you know, and as well having the ownership that we had through the Anlauer group to the Hymans, beyond first class. Both ownership groups, you know, and this team, the build started years ago. Matty Turek did an exceptional job at gaining a bunch of asset and making some moves, and then Spencer, when he took over, did an unbelievable job at building out the roster, and that's part of the, you know, that's part of what stings is we know how good of a team we had, but hockey is tough. I mean, it's a painful reminder of how hard it is to win a championship in this sport. You know, there's variables in games. You can throw everything at a team that you have and still come up short, and that's what I feel happened here.
Jay, I think you know, a lot of people will look back at that Game 6, and maybe even some of your players will look back at that Game 6 and, you know, some of the close chances you guys had. Is there any reason to look back at that game and say, what if?
Well, I mean, it's not going to change the outcome. You know, I think it was Game 5 where we had an empty net and missed the OHL's leading goal scorer. And Merrick's been incredible for us all season, had a wide open net. A few controversial goals, 3 of them, and none of them go our way. There's a lot of things you can look back on, but that's part of, you know, I'm not taking anything away from Barrie. I mean, they dug in, they scored the goals tonight. We didn't. You know, this isn't on just their goaltender. It takes a team to have success. They lose their star player and still grind through with. They get the spectacular goaltending. I mean, it's incredible what they've done. I'm taking nothing away from them, but you look back. You know, there's a bounce here and there. There's a puck here and there that can certainly swing a series. Frasca's goal that we thought was in. There's a lot of things that can swing a series, but again, that's what makes winning a championship in this sport so incredibly challenging.
Coach, you entered the third period, made down a goal, and you allowed 2 quick ones.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think went wrong in the third period to sort of make the train go off the tracks?
Well, the 4-minute minor at the end of the second. you know, they get 4 minutes on the power play. They've got a good power play. Point shot goes off. I think our players stick it in, so a bit of a fluke goal. One of the bounces that we kind of just talked about. You know, I'm not putting blame on anything, but we played, 85, 86, 87 games all year, and I haven't seen that kind of a 4-minute minor. So call that a bounce. Of course, that's going to give them life and momentum. And then I believe the third goal, we have a tough line change. It gives them a bit of an opening and shot in the goal. So I'm not going to take anything away from the way our guys worked throughout the game. But Barrie was able to find the goals we weren't.
And the Jake follow-up, Jake, how do you think the offense, I guess, dried up throughout the entire game and you weren't able to get going?
Yeah, well, obviously in the second there we had a good push. Just didn't get the bounces we wanted. Didn't bury all the chances. We had chances in the last 3 games here to win the series and tonight. So it sucks, but it's what we got to live with now.
One more from Brian.
Can I get one for Jake?
Of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Jay first. Just to follow up on the 4-minute minor, you said you haven't seen one of those. We're upstairs. We don't know all the time what's going on. Can you explain what happened on that?
I don't even really want to get into the small details of it. You know, I don't want to say they won because Barrie won. You know, they earned it. So talking about going into those details of penalties now doesn't do any good, respectfully.
Yeah. And then finally, Jay, you know, we've watched you grow up here. Don't know what the future holds. You're probably going to go down as the greatest Bulldog that's ever played here. Class act. You're becoming a real pro. What do you have to say to the fans here and the way they supported this team?
Yeah, well, obviously coming here to Brantford the first year, they were incredible every night. The loudest fans in the league. So just being able to play here was truly an honor throughout my 3 years here. So whatever is in store next, I don't know, but we'll see.
Gentlemen, tough circumstances, but thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You know, I Norm get to live around these guys day in, day out. This is not just a broadcast booth. This is my office. This is the life I live. I go on the road with these guys. I eat with them. I'm in the hotels with them. I goof around with them a lot. To see the tears in the eyes of Jake O'Brien, that's tough. That's tough. That's a young man that I've gotten to know more than just as a hockey player and as a captain, as a person. And Jake is an elite young man. And to see the passion that he brings night in, night out, and to see a season end, you know, in a year where they had a lot of expectations, and Jake becomes the all-time leading scorer for the Brantford Bulldogs franchise, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we know that Bulldog fans and this organization will be disappointed. You just said it so well. I mean, from the start of the year, this was a team that was tabbed by many to be the team to beat. And, you know, Jamie Key would often say on a night-in, night-out basis, no matter who they were playing, they were getting their best.
Yep.
And often iron sharpens iron, but often it can wear you down over the course of a year as well. And I think the Bulldogs, you know, got to this point, and it's tough when you're the favorite. And Troy touched on it a couple times during the broadcast. You know, there's 18, 19-year-olds playing in a high-pressure environment, full building, you know, thousands watching on television or more. And, you know, that's a lot of pressure on young players to sort of sort through. What I will say is you look through hockey history, you look through sports history, it is littered with teams that we thought were going to win and didn't win. Or teams that got this far, and so few do. There's probably 8 teams in the Eastern Conference that would swap positions with the Brantford Bulldogs,
Yep.
so at least have a chance to be in a Game 7
Yep.
and a game away from getting a chance to get into the finals. So while it is disappointing in a lot of ways, it's a fantastic accomplishment to make to the Final Four. And I think and to have a chance to win yourselves an Eastern Conference championship and go to a final. So I think that, yeah, I mean, you look, you're a Bruins fan, you know, I know you're kind of giggling. You knew it was coming, but you know, you look at the Edmonton Oilers, one of the greatest teams ever assembled. They didn't win the cup every year. There was lots of years that they did not win the cup, and then eventually they were disassembled.
They did in 88, 90 though.
Yeah, you go back, way back. You know,
1971.
New York Rangers, Chicago Blackhawks, great teams in the 70s. You look at the San Jose Sharks.
The years with Thornton.
One cup final.
Yeah.
That was it. In all the years, and they were an elite team in the Western Conference. So, Yeah, it's hockey, and as Jay McKee said it so well, sometimes things do not work out the way you hope, and sometimes you work your tail off and you're talented, but you still don't win. And I think there's probably a lesson there for any young athlete. Worry about what you can control, do everything you can, and it's not always going to go your way.
Well, we'll wrap things up from here. Congratulations to the Barrie Colts on the Eastern Conference Championship. As always, my thanks to Norm up here, Troy downstairs, Laura Kitchen joining us this year, doing an incredible job. It never feels like we're getting to come in and talk to you guys. So it's
her rookie season, she did a great job. We were glad to have Laura join our team.
It's been another great season with you guys. I love working with you, and I hope we do this many, many more years. Producer Taylor, I was getting there. Our entire Rogers TV production crew.
Patty.
Yeah, Patty Berardi back at Rogers. We couldn't do this without you, Patty. Thanks so much for your faith in all of us. It will sting tonight and for some days to come, but the sun will rise tomorrow, and the build will begin again. It's Reed Duthie. Thanks for being along for the ride with us all season long on audio or on television. It is a true pleasure to be able to bring you these games. Best of luck in the OHL Finals to Barrie and Kitchener. We sign off from Brantford Bulldogs Hockey.